the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. Today is National Cheddar Day, constipation's version of Christmas. I'm E-Money, and it ain't easy being cheesy. It's Ron Bennington. Gail Bennington.
Did you guys all watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
Yes.
I did tune in.
Well, the latest numbers are in. The Super Bowl got the largest audience it ever had in history, 202.4 million people. And I think like the last biggest was like a 175 or something.
Whoa.
Wow.
So that's 25 million people are the Taylor effect. That's how much money she put in the NFL's pocket.
Good God.
Yep. She did it. She did it. And that's what I said when her boyfriend won the Super Bowl. I said, she did it.
That's what I said when Taylor told her boyfriend to go beat up a 65-year-old man with a weak heart.
You know what I want to say about this? So, we discussed it yesterday. We all agreed that it was a bad look. It wasn't good. It was a really bad situation. I noticed on social media seeing the same thing. Some of them seeming to be sports fans, some of them seeming to just be the type of people to tune into a Super Bowl. Right. But I'm wondering, are these people who already had issue with the two of them and like they're not the biggest fan of the whole situation, or these people who are like, I've changed my mind a bit on this fella?
Yeah, I don't even think it's about this fella. I think it's about the act itself. His coach was like, hey, he's passionate. We get over it. We're family. I mean, that's the thing about him. He doesn't put himself above his assets.
Nope.
But I expect the league to say something or do something. I could see him missing a couple games next year. But overall, I just don't think you like to see a bigger guy.
No.
Because he's a big, strong guy. I mean, he really is. And to do that with an older fella. Now, I saw a lot of people saying, imagine what he's going to end up doing to Taylor. Well, I hope that, I hope that doesn't carry over in her personal life. But I know that she will keep him in the game if she ends up coaching the Chiefs.
She'd have done things differently. You're right.
Oh, very much so.
But, I mean, even if he just went over and yelled, it wouldn't look good from a sportsman type of way. But using his hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the contact was shocking.
Yeah, there was contact. It looked aggressive. And in that particular moment, it made Andy look feeble a bit.
Frail.
He looked...
Yeah, I mean, he is what he is. Remember, during the COVID thing, he was the only one wearing that shield.
Yes.
And then he had fogged it all up because he's hilarious.
And also his reaction to Kelce, or his non-reaction of just like sort of like taking it. His eyes were on the field. I don't even think he ever made eye contact with Kelce. The whole thing was fucked up.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good look, but only 202 million people saw it take place.
Yeah.
But here's the other weird thing. They say Kelce is pushing hard to have this giant career outside of football, and that his dream is to be bigger than The Rock. Like, he actually thinks of being The Rock is like a cool thing. You know what I mean? So, I think he wants to do movies and all that. Who knows if he can or not. The camera has to love you. But he got the big girlfriend.
Yep.
And he's got the rings, you know what I mean? He's got a good platform to at least have people listen to him,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he has put himself in a position now where his name is going to be brought up forever. You know what I mean? Whether or not he does something good or bad or it falls apart, he's moved himself into the place of just like kind of always famous.
All right. I'm going to ask you guys this, and it just occurred to me now. Do you think at this point, and I'm not saying better than, I'm not saying Travis Kelce or Gronk, who's more well known because Gronk did that thing where, he got commercials. He's missing field goals at halftime.
Kick of destiny, baby.
Even though he's retired, he's still failing. I'm going to go to Earl first. And from a Black Twitter point of view, Earl, who is more popular?
I'm going to go Gronk. I mean, the fact that we just call him Gronk is like, you just say Gronk, you know exactly who it is. And
his name is Gronk.
So you're going to give him a hard time for having a brother that we have to specify between the Kelces?
Well, we don't call him Kels.
Yeah.
And he has just as many Super Bowls as Kelce. He's...
Yeah, I get all that. I'm not talking... I mean, most people are now saying that Kelce is a better tight end than Gronk.
Yeah, people are saying that. I don't know if that's true.
I'm going just straight personality-wise, well known. What Gronk has never had is that bigger-than-life, like we saw happen with Pete Davidson.
Right.
He dated famous people. He got way more famous.
Right.
Travis has done this.
Yes. I think it's Kelce. And I think it's going to, his star is even still rising. I think that he's moved himself into a household name position. And the only thing time will tell is like how long he'll stay in favor. I mean, not just the Andy Reid moment, but the very cringy Viva Las Vegas. Like, we've talked about this before. There's some people who can get away with anything. And we always use Big J as like an example where it's like he could say whatever. He could be, say the edgiest joke and people will laugh and know who he is. But a different person could say those same exact words and they wouldn't get away with it. That's the part we have to see. Because Gronk has stayed in this... I'm an aging party boy who's like, I'm just for the good time and drinking and fun. I don't know if Kelce will get away with that the same way.
Now, here's a weird one for you to let you know how things change. Odell Beckham, who, Junior, of course, is dating Kim Kardashian, and he's probably less famous now than when he was at his peak as a football player.
Yes.
This thing has not given him heat.
That's interesting.
Or given Kim heat.
No, because as most popular, I guess, was when he was with the Giants. After that one-handed catch, and then there was a whole bunch of shit, off-field stuff.
I mean, crazy stuff. But I think he was more well-known then than he is now.
Agreed.
Chris, are you Kelce or Gronk?
Look, I think about it like this. If Kelce was retired, he'd be doing the kick of destiny over Gronk. It's the Swift connection just puts him over. If Gronk had like a super popular, maybe not as popular Taylor Swift, obviously, that might put him more in the running. But Kelce, because of this fucking relationship, is the more popular person amongst the general people.
If and when, more probably when it ends, does he stay a household name? Does he stay in
Pete?
light?
Did Pete? I mean, Pete misses shows.
Yeah.
And people still like him.
Yeah.
He just missed another show at Radio City the other night.
Did he forget? What happened? If it's a big one.
Just at last minute, he's like, I'm not doing this.
I don't think I can do it.
I can't do this right now.
I think amongst football fans, Gronk is more popular, but amongst the general public, Kelce.
But that's what we're talking, the general public. Yeah. It's like when you move into that place. Because, we're not, there's plenty of football players who are probably better athletes, but they're not household names. But sports fans will know them. And they'll go, no, this person doesn't get the recognition they deserve.
Look, The Rock wasn't the best wrestler of all time. He doesn't make the top 5 list.
No.
He probably makes the top 10. But... I didn't even notice when he became a movie star. You know what I mean? Like, he snuck in and worked it so hard that the first time somebody said to me, The Rock is a movie star, I said, he's not. And the reason why he wasn't in the kind of movies that I watched. You know what I mean?
Walking Tall remakes?
Yeah, I missed that.
Fast and the Furious?
I didn't see him in those. But he just did 2 or 3 a year for years, and he didn't really worry if it was somebody else's part 5. He was the guy to kind of give the reboots a little bit of a reboot itself.
Let's bring in The Rock. This sounds good.
It just worked. I'll tell you this: we had a spring going, and I don't know what happened with that groundhog, but today just the snow came down. It was insane.
It was crazy and so heavy too. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it. It just must have gone like hell last night, because when I woke up early this morning, I knew that there'd be snow on the ground, but it looked like it had been snowing for 3 days.
Yeah, it was a very, very sticky snow. I sent a picture of my snow hat to put up on stories when I got back in today. It's insane.
It's
insane
crazy.
how much snow stuck to
It's
it.
a shocking amount of snow. Rock.
Yeah, sticky, crazy snow out of nowhere. Eric wants to bring up something about Kelce and Andy. Hey, Eric. We got you?
Eric? I didn't hear it click
Chris,
over.
phone problems?
I'm going to double check this. I'm putting Eric back
Okay.
on hold.
All right. There's also another Eric there if you want to try him.
Other Eric.
Other Eric is coming up now. There we go.
Hey, man. Eric.
Hey, got you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got us.
Hey, yeah, so, Kelce, I don't know that this has come up very often, but in 2016, I don't know how my wife and I stumbled onto this, but there was a reality dating show called Catching Kelce. Have
I
you guys heard
remember
of this?
that.
Or,
Yeah. I never saw it, but I have heard about it.
I don't really remember all that much about it, other than, I've got pretty low tolerance for these things, and I feel like if he were just totally insufferable or not charismatic or something to that effect, we wouldn't have watched it. And we finished the whole thing. It was a long time ago, but, I never got the feeling from him that he wasn't those things, charismatic or
Oh, no, he definitely is, yeah. And he and his brother do that podcast now, and they're just great, man. For having no experience, they just go on. I only see it in clips. I don't listen to whole podcasts, but every time I see a clip, I'm like, this is fantastic. They play off each other well, and he actually takes the back seat to his younger brother. You know what I mean? He still treats his older brother the way Eli treats Peyton. That thing exists.
Yeah.
You know?
You never get out of it.
Yeah. So you're taking Kelce as the more popular one.
Well, yeah, I think so, because I think what he's going to eclipse Gronk, because very, very often Gronk's, like you said, with the football fans, that's going to, garner enough support. But if GP, if you will, I think people would look at him and go, this guy's kind of adult, kind of seems like he's been hit in the head too many times, and doesn't really seem like he's got any ability to go off script at all. And I might be being unfair to the guy, but that's my read.
He's fun drinking beer. He'll do, stuff like that. He's going to be hanging around football as long as he wants to. There's no doubt about that with Gronk. But is he great on those panel shows? If he's forced to actually come up with something that's going to happen in the game, I don't think he gives a shit.
Of course not.
I don't think he cares. I think he'd rather be dancing with his shirt off. But there is a fratness to him that Kelce has.
Yeah.
But, he also has this other thing. There's there's like that family thing. Like, I see that his brother's kids love him.
There's a tinge of sweetness with Kelce underneath the broiness. The only bad thing I ever heard about him was some ex-girlfriends came out and said he was really cheap. And that he wouldn't, he would force them to split everything and wouldn't buy them. One girl was pissed he wouldn't pay for her cable.
I think he should have. I think he should have paid the cable bill. To be honest,
Just for the good press,
Yeah. Well, we didn't stay together, but he did pay my cable.
Aww.
Yeah. And I'm
like
talking
this
about
elderly woman that he's dating.
And I'm talking about HBO.
Wow.
I had Stars Channel on
Premium
there,
channel.
which was nice. I got Hibbo, HBO, and I had a Showtime. And that was great. I had Xbox for a while, but I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I guess it's movies, you know? But I had Turner Classic, and I remember one time I was going down on him during the Turner Classic, and it was Psycho, and he jumped up and almost killed me. Who on the team is dating Ice Spice? Because she's causing nothing but trouble.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The resident Christian is Earl Douglas, and they're now saying Ice Spice was wearing an upside down cross, and that also when Taylor was killing a beer, Ice Spice did this, which are the horns of the devil that she put up in the air. So, Earl, I'm going to say this as a Christian, and I know one of the Newsmax or one of those sites has come out pretty hard about the fact that, it was satanic in that booth. But do you think that Ice Spice is a Satanist?
This is much ado about nothing. She is. I mean, look at her. I mean, she's just clearly throwing up the metal horns, which is it's football. I mean, football and metal kind of go together, and the fact
it doesn't.
It doesn't really, but
by the way, aren't the metal horns turned the other way around, Earl?
No, the metal. I thought the metal horns was like the like this.
I know, but do you see it? Do you see it from the front, not the back? Maybe I'm thinking of the Texas hook'em horns, which was doing this long before any metal.
All
right, what about the cross?
The cross, I mean, it looks more like a fashion accessory as opposed to because usually Satanists will wear all black.
She's wearing all black.
Right. Yeah.
Put
it up and let him see the cross.
Yeah.
Because he just changed it to her jacket color.
Look at it, Earl.
Is it upside down?
It looks as though it is indeed upside down. Yes.
Now, you don't have a problem with that?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, as far as again, there are fashion accessories
so wait
that have the upside down.
Hold on. If the upside down cross has been adopted like the swastika, do you call that an accessory? The swastika?
I do not call it.
Just a simple accessory that she wanted to wear.
Egypt had that long before. I remember when
Kelce's ex-girlfriend.
When Kelce and I were going out, he's like, "Come on, I want you to put this cross on upside down."
Do you think that maybe Ice Spice was actually just saying too sweet?
That could have happened. Here's my problem with Ice Spice. I would sue her because she's trying to let on that she's a Spice Girl, and she is not.
No. The conspiracy heads are all over this. They're saying she's just virtue signaling to the Illuminati, and that she was dressed all in a Balenciaga, which got into some trouble last year because they had like kid toucher shit in in one of their campaigns.
Well, it was
I don't know what Balenciaga is.
Balenciaga is like a fashion brand.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who, remember, it was almost like they had these like S&M like pictures, but it was kids, and like people got upset about it and they had to pull the ad campaign.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It was a weird ad campaign. They were trying to be edgy, I guess. A little too edgy.
What does Ice Spice do? Is she a rapper?
Yes, she is a rapper.
Okay. Earl, you a fan?
Not a big fan. I've only heard one song of hers, and it's okay. It's nothing.
Oh, I know. I heard that too. My name is Ice Spice, and I'm here to say I'm with Satan every day.
The kids love Ice Spice.
They do.
I think she had one line in one of her songs, "You think you're the shit, but you just a fart." And people love it.
You think you the shit, bitch? You ain't even the fart.
That's it.
I be going hard.
Devil stuff, Gail.
Yeah, real satanic stuff.
Yeah, the QAnons are all over the Ice Spice in the booth. It's fucking crazy.
So I just want to. Maybe there's like a Venn diagram of the people in between. But if you're a conspiracy theorist and you think, is it often Christian and religious conspiracy gets mixed into it? Like, if you think people are running the government, you also are thinking Satanists. Like, is that usually connected?
Yeah, that's eating children, etc.
Right. Okay.
Drinking blood.
Yeah.
Having sex with masks on.
Yeah.
And having what looked like a low level. I would have said this. I thought maybe with the cross that the one part was down a little lower, but I don't necessarily know if I think that's upside down. Because if you look at that upside down, it also doesn't seem to make the same thing. But somebody from security, NFL security, said, look, we can't have you in here. That's too low. And then did you guys also see that Lana Del Rey got knocked over in there while everybody was celebrating?
I know.
Can I tell you something? I'd have been throwing motherfuckers out of that thing.
You don't bump into beautiful Lana Del Rey. I mean, she's my favorite of the posse for sure.
Can I tell you something? Me and Lana danced on the H of the Hollywood sign.
Aww.
Most watched television show of all time. Now they're saying more than the moon shot.
That's insane.
Now you have to also remember, in '69, there wasn't as many people in the country.
All right, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? I don't even think there was 300 million people in the country then. There's probably around 225. So 25 million people are like, I'm not watching that space thing. I don't even have the channels for it. What? Gronk is driving me crazy.
She is old. I knew it.
I mean, I got a black and white TV, and Gronk won't get me an antenna. He says it's fine. Just use rabbit ears. He's cheap. He's like a baby chicken. Cheap. His girlfriend remembers the first time we played Kennedy.
Oh, God.
Kennedy.
I watched that commercial and I just went, this isn't going to go over well with the family. I just feel like this isn't approved by the family.
No. And also, it's like the dumbest thing ever. You're not bringing attention to yourself.
No!
You're playing your dead uncle's commercial.
Right.
And let me tell you something. He wasn't around for that. He wasn't even born when that commercial played.
You're right.
So what is he saying? I'm taking everything back to 62? You know? It doesn't say anything about him.
Right. And I don't think that he would agree politically with his uncle, with Bobby Kennedy. I don't feel like they would be all...
He's not agreeing with the rest of their family.
No.
Right.
And my whole life, the Kennedys have pulled together like conjoined twins. Like if any of them runs, everybody else comes in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is the first time that they're like, he's an anti-vaccine nut. He's against the March of Dimes. We were surprised by that. He says the Special Olympics were not a good idea, despite the fact that Sergeant Shriver was behind it.
I have a feeling that he thinks Ice Spice is a Satanist.
He's tweeting about her.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Because it wouldn't shock me. Oh, Ron's audio just went out.
Ron's audio just dropped. I'm going to try to fix that.
Yeah, we still don't have him.
I might have him now.
Nope.
All right.
You don't have him yet, Chris.
Okay.
All right. So the Kennedy one obviously did not go over. Yeah, we got you. The Kennedy commercial didn't go over, but what for you was your favorite commercial of the night? Was there even one that you would say stood out?
Now, I did not watch it as much as past years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, but I will say this. All the people said is $7 million is insane. how long does it normally take you to get your message to 200 million people? I mean, next year this thing's might be $11 million.
Right.
But for me, and I thought this was a very funny thing, and one of the reasons why I liked it, there was a lot of celebrities in this. But this is one that's kind of been away for a while. Christopher Walken, with everybody doing the Christopher Walken impression. And I feel like that does happen to him. You know what I mean? Because everybody thinks they can do a Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I feel like Christopher Walken impression is what we used to do for Jack. Like everyone did a Jack impression, and now it's Christopher Walken.
Yeah, this is the "You Dirty Rat" of the 90s. But, you know, Christopher Walken's a little older, so we haven't seen him as much in movies. And now he looks great. And he came in, and he was just mildly confused and annoyed. You know what I mean? Like he played it perfectly, and it was so smart to have like women doing it to him. You know what I mean? Like, everybody of whatever walk of life. It was just a funny moment.
All right, I'm going to give you my favorite. And the same, I feel like it doesn't have the same excitement level as it used to because, you know, most of them we get to see ahead of time. But the one that really got me was the Michael CeraVe commercial. And not just because I use CeraVe. Because Juju did point and go, we have that, which was really funny. I thought it was so adorable and weird. He was like the perfect amount of weird for it. And he's like acting as though he's been the genius behind CeraVe this whole time.
I literally fell for it because I thought, you know, how these guys are putting their names on tequilas and vodkas and you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, is he into skin care? You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what CeraVe.
I had no idea that was a product.
Yeah. So and yes, he 100% of the time can make me laugh.
It was so funny and weird.
He can annoy and still make me laugh.
Same. Yeah, he does it absolutely perfectly. And I thought, I mean, I'm not sure if it was like the main ad meter, but I saw one place going through and like there were like commercials that missed and they put Michael Cera's commercial on it. I'm like, I really disagree. I thought that was such a good one.
I disagree too. And I'll tell you what works for me. I'd never heard of the product. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's bonus for that company. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need some of this Michael CeraVe. I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys this. Did you laugh at Schwarzenegger with the Like a Good Neighbor?
I thought it was cute. I thought it was
cute too.
Yeah.
Some people I saw complaining like, how much money does this guy need? But also, he doesn't mind being seen by 200 million people.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Helps
He's
him.
a celebrity.
According to the ad meter, that was the country's favorite commercial, the neighbor commercial.
Oh, really?
Now, do you think it's because it was really funny or people just like Arnold? And again, he's not starring in movies like he used to. He did an awkward TV show last year, which I watched every episode of.
I think it's like the combination. It was like a perfect storm. Like it was like they like to see Arnold, and then it was an easy joke. We all know Like a Good Neighbor. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, oh, I get it immediately.
And DeVito showing up.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Danny DeVito.
Of course.
Oh, I thought it was Anthony DeVito. I was like,
no,
this is big
his father's not. And that's not even his father. He makes a point of that.
I like the Coors Light commercial with LL Cool J because I found myself, I missed that dumb train from all those old Coors Light commercials. So that was just pure nostalgia for me.
It took a long way. I mean, that was only at the very last part that LL Cool J popped out of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't remember what happened before then. It was just the Coors Light train.
It was just the Coors Light train going through.
Yeah. And then the funny part was LL Cool J was driving it.
Yeah, because, you know, cool. LL Cool J, Cold Train.
Cold Train?
Or, you know, it's a
why didn't they get Cold Train to come out?
And these beer companies need to fucking do, like Budweiser should be doing Bud Bowls again like they did in the late 80s, early 90s. People would mark the fuck out for that.
It really is a nostalgia day. And that's why, like, this is the first time that the millennials got the nostalgia thing.
Yes.
I guess, X got when all the hip hop stars came back. Remember how crazy
Right.
they
Yeah.
went for
2
that?
years ago.
So you guys got skate rock back.
We
The
did.
way that you loved.
We love so
Earl,
well.
what was the commercial for you?
Yeah, for me, I like the Kid and Play one when they brought back Kid and Play.
I'm going to be totally honest. I missed it.
It was right. I think it was like towards. It was like the
What
second
was
half.
it?
I don't even know what the product was, but it was like a party where everyone's doing the
couldn't
Kid
have
and Play
done too
dance.
well then.
Yeah, that's the problem, Earl. This is supposed to be the effective ad.
I remember seeing Kid and Play, but I don't remember, like, just for a moment, but I don't really remember. I don't think it was a memorable one.
My problem with Kid and Play is, unlike Christopher Walken and unlike Arnold, they don't look the same.
No.
How can you have
Right.
nostalgia when they don't look the same?
Was that just a because they did a commercial for, I think, for Geico or an insurance company. Did they just replay that one? Because I can't even find Kid and Play on the ad meter.
All right, that's a problem,
boy,
Earl.
that's not
you don't
good.
have a new one.
Hey, where did the Michael on the ad meter you have? Where did the Michael CeraVe?
15th out of like 60.
All right, that's not
disagree.
bad.
I disagree. It should be higher.
What did you think about Temu? The 3
my
or 4
God.
commercials for Temu.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest. I always thought Temu was like one of those places that you order through, and it's like what I ordered versus what I got. Like I thought that they were just kind of like really poor quality
garbage
stuff.
products.
Yeah.
I know this. I wasn't familiar with them before that ad campaign.
No idea. I had
And
no
you
idea.
think that they spent $28 million? They went four sevens?
They had 4 commercials and then also like live reads, like coming in and out of
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
Like the first
Yep.
half was like presented by Temu.
Live reads.
Yeah.
They had Nance showing for them.
What do you got to pay to get Nance to do a live read for you?
Hey, Eric in PA. Eric.
Hey, Ron, one quick
Hey.
note. You can chop this up later. Did you notice on commercials they redid combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell for Instacart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Drives me nuts because
I know.
love
I know,
the
it was
original
crazy.
so much.
I was surprised to hear Earl. Supposedly, I'm Presbyterian and we're barely Christian. And even I know he was talking about devil with horns. Of course, the devil would look like Ice Spice. The greatest trick it ever pulled was convincing people it didn't exist.
And just like that, it's gone.
Hear that, Earl?
What do you mean? Like that hit you that hard? You're like,
What?
oh my God. I mean, that took very little convincing for you, Earl.
You know what I was surprised about? That the Hall of Fame guys didn't get to do as much.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like any of them had a pop with a national audience, you know?
No. For a second, I thought they weren't going to announce their names because they went to the shot of them and then
Yeah.
they were like, there's the Hall of Fame class. And then they put up a graphic.
But the
Here's
graphic was
something
just
that-
an upside down cross. So
Yeah. They were standing down on one of the goal lines. And it just happened really fast. And I know Marley Maitland was also mad that the deaf people that sign didn't get the love that they have all these years.
I know. We normally give them a lot of attention.
Now, I will say this. Marley Maitland, who I love, is really a one-topic person. You know what I mean? Like, I know deafness is something you worry about, but there's a Gaza thing.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
causing a lot of problems for the American Jews.
Yes.
So, please.
Top
I
of
think it would
mind.
mean a lot, if you stepped out. I know you used to go to Miami Beach a lot when you were a kid, so we could really use, like, sign language. Hey, stop the shit.
Peace.
But here's something about the Hall of Fame. So Mongo McMichael, I don't know. Gail, you might have known him from wrestling. He came in
Yes.
the 90s as Four Horsemen. As a matter of fact, Stone Cold stole his wife from him.
yes.
right?
I remember.
So he played with the Chicago Bears. And in my opinion, he was a dirty player. And I remember he did this, went out of his way to hurt either Jim McMahon. No, not Jim McMahon, because he would have been with him. Maybe it was Brett Favre, but somebody that, he actually slammed in and then he kind of became famous and he liked being the heel. But now he has this terrible disease, ALS, right? And I mean,
oh yeah,
it's a horrid disease.
Yeah.
The shape he's in, I wouldn't root on anyone. And the people of Chicago were writing to the Hall of Fame that it would mean a lot if Mongo would get into the Hall of Fame, and then they did it. And I'm like, but I get it. I don't even know if he knows that they did this or not.
Right.
But I feel like that shouldn't be have anything to do with it. That we got to be able to stand back and look at careers.
Right. And that perhaps there's another way to honor him that's not we'll just let you in when we probably wouldn't have in another circumstance.
I mean, I feel like Mongo's been honored his whole life in Chicago because he got to do a lot of things and he stayed a star in Chicago. I mean, he's beloved there. But nationally, I don't feel like people felt the same way about his career. Earl, again, Black Twitter, what are they saying about this?
The general feeling is that would they have mentioned Mongo McMichael as hey, why is he not in the Hall of Fame if he hadn't had this terrible disease? Right. You think of a lot of great players.
What about your opinion?
My opinion, I'm like,
would you have put him in?
I would not have put him in. I mean, I think there were other guys. There's other guys worthy.
First of all, we've even gone this long and he hasn't got in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Joe Klecko went in last year, and some of that was sentimental for some people. I liked it, He's from Highland Gardens in Chester.
Nice.
I was glad to see him go in. He played at St. James High School. Means quite a bit to me. But I get that you are on. Like, I've always thought Mickey Vernon belonged in the Baseball Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why he didn't go in is that the team that he played for, the Washington Senators, were gone, right? They went to Montreal. Nobody was out there working for him year after year. And that shouldn't be part of it, whether people are working to get you in or not.
Yes.
I know Earl wants all the steroid cases to go in.
What?
He feels like it's an era that belongs. Vito feels the same way. I don't at all.
Who are they, Peter Thiel?
Okay, the steroid Olympics are coming out, and I'll gladly watch that.
Seems fun.
I had another football thing that I think I'm going to be able to solve another problem.
What?
Okay.
You look at a team like, let's say, the Kansas City Chiefs, and one of the reasons why they don't have many good receivers is they don't have the money in the cap because they're forced to pay the best football player in the game all that money.
Right.
And I get it. And it's also not fair. In the meantime, you're paying halfbacks like one fucking, let's say sixth of what a great halfback's going to get, but like 1/6. What if we did it where we have just a quarterback cap?
Oh.
And that is not in the way of the other players.
That's
right?
super interesting.
So now you could pay your quarterbacks as much. I mean, the only thing to do to stop the reason why they have caps is not any sense of fairness. It's to stop the capitalists from spending more money than they're going to get back.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. If you left it up to them, any of the individuals, he might just start and pay these guys $105 million a year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that cap was different from everyone else?
I love that because there was a stat that came out after the Super Bowl. I think this is the first time in Super Bowl history where the team that has the quarterback with the biggest cap hit has actually won the Super Bowl, which means that every other team that has paying way more for amazing amount of money for a quarterback doesn't win the Super Bowl because those reasons they're paying so much money for the quarterback. Right. You can't pay for a team around.
So some teams have this and some teams don't. You're saying some?
No.
Yeah.
If you have a great quarterback, you're going to pay him top,
right?
And because of that, then maybe you can't keep a Tyreek Hill who he had before.
Yeah.
He had a great receiver that he could go to. This year he doesn't. All right, I'm going to read some X's to you guys.
Oh.
Ezra said this: Kelce was much more popular on Black Twitter because he dated black women before. That was a huge discussion on Black Twitter.
Yeah.
Those folks never focused on Gronk like this. Well, that's why some black women were mad when he started dating not just Taylor, but someone who has a body like Taylor, not an extra big butt,
right?
You know, not a curvy woman.
Yeah.
And then Ezra writes, "Why doesn't Earl know anything about Black Twitter? He doesn't go there.
I mean, it's so easy to go there, though, Earl.
It's right there."
And he here's Love It or Shove It once again. One time, Earl doesn't know what he's talking about. Here's I agree with Gillian. The Michael Cera one was my favorite. Also, the Timu commercial. We all realized we were pronouncing it wrong.
I know.
Apparently, it's what?
Okay, so we all always said Timu, but they were saying Temu. Temu. Like Shamu. Temu.
And then this says the Ben Affleck one made me LOL literally. I thought that was going to finish number one because I heard a lot of good things from people, but I wasn't a big fan.
I felt a little cringe, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, this is going to be what America loves most. Came in second behind Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. And they said they sold out of those orange jumpsuits, but I don't know how many they had.
They were selling them?
Like a dozen, maybe. We sold
Anne-Marie
out.
says that Progressive commercial, so nostalgic. Kid and Play are so old now. I think that they were this was a commercial they were playing before we got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which is probably what kept it out of the ad meter.
Exactly.
Yes.
I just searched Progressive. That doesn't even show up. So, yeah. That's
And I know that for a fact because I go by Fez Whatley rules, and he would have immediately disqualified anyone who had an ad that was even the day before.
He also wouldn't include trailers.
I think that's fair. Like, it almost feels like it's a different conversation.
I know none of the trailers mattered to me this year, you know. None of them were like, oh, that's something I want.
You're not juiced up for Wicked?
Chuck in Boston.
Yeah, a friend of mine asked me, is Taylor Swift going to get a Super Bowl ring? I said, she will when she divorces Travis Kelce.
Bang, bang.
That's a funny thing, but I bet they do give her a ring because she was a big part of that.
She deserves it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Chiefs' kingdom now has replaced, of course, the Cowboys as America's team.
You're right.
A matter of fact, I think I would even say the Patriots were always like a little under the radar. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
There was a hatred for Brady that like simmered for a very long time that stopped them. They were called the Evil Empire.
Yeah, but it's also pure jealousy with Brady.
True.
You know what I mean? I see that everybody goes out of their way now to say that Dan Marino was a better quarterback than Brady. But I think winning is a big part of everything.
Yeah. You have to take your team to the Super Bowl and you have to win.
At least once.
Yeah, that's a really important part of being considered goated.
I mean,
Tuttle wrote to us the Dan Marino ones wish his old running partner Big Dog were in there. He was robbed not being the sidekick in Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I guess Tuttle is back because Russ Rollins, was here the other day. But I was surprised to see like Dan Marino was in a couple different things. And I can't imagine kids today know who Dan Marino is.
I know. I mean, even if you're not a football fan, Ace Ventura was a very long time ago, so they probably don't even get that reference.
That was 94. Here's Lucas Day says, I love Mayo the Cat. Very original.
No.
Kudos to the Hellman's people for a multi-billion-dollar moneymaker for them and Mayo. Bravo, Mayo. Hip, hip, Mayo. Hip, hip, Mayo.
No reason to say
hip,
that.
Hip, hip, Mayo.
Chris,
hip,
wasn't there
hip,
something else
Mayo.
that we said was stolen from you during the Super Bowl, and it was on top of the Mayo thing? It was like something else?
First, I'll address the Mayo thing. That's ranked 12th out of all these stupid commercials. It should have been rated last.
That's
Higher
high.
than
That's
Sarah
like
Day?
one of my... Yeah, it's high Meyer Sarah.
It should have been right there with the RFK campaign fucking video, which is dead last. It should have been right there. It should have been a tie. And my cat had to watch that as it was playing, and I felt terrible for him. I felt awful.
I don't know whether you're familiar with this story, Chris.
Oh, no.
So there was a thing that everybody loved, and it was a dad and a daughter who really seemed like they weren't close. And then the daughter was walking by while the dad was playing football by himself, watching football, and she heard Taylor Swift, and then she sat down with him and started watching. Later, he gets her the Chiefs jersey, and they're close now.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, this is adorable." And then they found out that was from a TikTok from, I think, a real father and daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And they turned around and paid big money because those people stepped in and threatened to sue, while you with Mayo the Cat just sat back and whined and bitched. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
This is Trump's mistake. He complains, but he doesn't win in court. You complain, but you didn't win a court.
I didn't know I could bring a court case.
Why
they
didn't
stole
you
Mayo the Cat from you?
You're right.
Yes, and all you had to do was make a fuss about it. And they went, this is clearly stolen material. And by the way, I feel like, between the two ads, now CeraVe is looking really good because Cetaphil is another skincare for sensitive skin people. So CeraVe wins that war for sure.
Now, you loved the commercial before you found out that they stole it from a real life.
I did. I thought it was a sweet concept, and I went, man, it's so of the time. I bet so many people have a story like this. I went, oh, they literally do, and they took it. So, yes, of course, that ruined it for me because it felt thieved.
I thought that my biggest problem, I think, with it is I felt like it was a little too on the nose. And I don't want you to act like football can bring you know what I mean, a daughter.
Yeah.
And I think like even like within the real life or the TikTok one, she was black and her dad was white. Mm-hmm. And,
Same.
It just seemed like that was the problem with them.
The problem is these ad agencies are heartless, thieving scumbags, and they're taking money from regular, good-natured people like myself in Kansas City, daughter.
I don't know who it was. I think it was probably maybe it was the CEO of like the ad agency who did the Cetaphil commercial. But one of the things he was saying is like, look, we don't steal other people's stuff, and we don't try to follow the trends like we change the world. And I'm like, you're advertising. You literally follow the trends. That's what you do. You're going to tell me that people aren't just on, people for your company aren't just on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram trying to get, what are people talking about? What are people into? That's what advertising is.
We just sell you things.
Ken in South Carolina.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So, probably unpopular opinion, but can we get rid of the kickoff? Just, if it's going to be an onside kick, then the kicking team comes out, they do the onside kick. If not, just put it on the 25. They're kicking it out anyway.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of people agreeing with you. The thing that they could do is move back where you now have to kick from. But what they don't want is guys running at each other as hard as they can and smashing together. They feel like that's bad for there's going to be more injuries there and it's bad for the sport. If we get rid of the kickoff, do we get rid of the PAT? Do we get rid of the punt? All these things, do they have to happen anymore?
The slippery slope.
The point after kick and the punt are more the point after kick obviously is worth the point, but the punt is more strategic in that they can and do get it down into. They had that one punt that got down to the 1 yard line. When's the last time you saw a kickoff kicked out at by the 5?
Now, not only that, but no, I agree with you on the kickoff. The kickoff is just, and that's good. But look, how rare is it now to see a punt return for a TD? And that's one of the more exciting plays in football. And that's done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's very rare to happen. Just like the onside kick. Like the whole kicking game in general in the NFL is in a weird place.
By the way, one of the guys that went in the Hall of Fame, I think it's Devin Hester.
That's it.
He was like our last great punt returner, and I used to wait for that play.
Hell yeah,
I loved it.
Hell yeah. I mean, I think he 100-yard return in the Super Bowl. Like it was fucking ridiculous.
But it just doesn't happen that much.
No, it's incredibly
and
rare.
one of the reasons is the punters have gotten unbelievably good. I mean, the best thing you can hope for is that the long snapper fucks up.
Yeah, that's your one hope.
We had to talk before. Is he even a football player? Hey, here's the guy that told me about the $200 million. The man I call the fifth Beatle, Hard Rock Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Bennington's.
Hey,
I will say that I really loved the Duncan commercial.
Yeah.
And I did go online and order one of the hats. I did not get the
let me ask you, why did you love the Duncan commercial? It was so cheesy.
Because I'm a huge Duncan fan. Let's start with that, my iced coffee. And secondly, I just loved the line to J-Lo that she's enamored by the pinstripes, an obvious dig at Alex Rodriguez, which was tremendous.
Yeah, I didn't get that fired up for that. I don't care
I thought
who that she's banged in my life. I really don't. I just doesn't. Right. I mean, it's past. It's past due now. You know what I mean? She's a woman well into her 50s. She doesn't actually sing anymore. You know,
but what
maybe
I
never did.
Really calling about. I watched this 10-minute thing about Steve McMichael, which was just heart-wrenching. Literally just crying watching it about his current life. But he's going in as a senior, right? Every year they bring in guys who have been retired for more than a certain amount of time. So that's where he's going in. But he's if he was on an all-decade team, 2-time All-Pro.
He was on. So you're saying he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, for a defensive tackle. He's only 1.5 sacks behind Warren Sapp, who in his career. So everyone says Warren Sapp is like.
I'm not a huge Warren Sapp guy, and I watched him. My problem with Mongo is I knew that he was dirty, and it just.
Well, come on. Merlin Olsen's in the Hall of Fame. He was one of the dirtiest players.
No, Merlin Olsen is a saint. I don't know whether you're familiar with some of his TV shows.
He was a dirty player. A great player, but he was dirty. And I loved him on Little House.
You remind me of right now? You remind me of Mad Dog. And Mad Dog went on a rant yesterday saying that the Super Bowl was ruined by Taylor Swift that she was on 9,000 times, he said. And she'd been on 54 seconds, and that's with all the other stars who were in that booth. It was a star-studded booth.
Oh, yeah.
Going crazy. Of just beautiful celebrity women.
One after another.
And then the other thing about him is that he said he would quit broadcasting if I think it was the Phillies didn't win out. And then he never quit.
No. Did he even acknowledge
that? And he feels
that?
like he could say that kind of stuff and then judge other people.
He was gonna he made a deal that he was gonna walk down the street in a bikini on
He
Howard.
went on Stern and said that. Stern tried to give him something else. Yeah, he didn't do anything.
He's a fraud.
He's just
So's Mongo.
Gotta follow through.
Just eating gummies.
And I don't want to hear another bad thing about Merlin Olsen. I mean, that guy was.
I love
insane.
Merlin Olsen.
Doesn't seem
Seems
like
like
you do.
But he was dirty. Super dirty.
He was clean.
Clean as the driven snow.
Yeah.
Pure.
All right, some people have kickoff ideas. I want to go to them, Johnny. Do you want to get rid of the kickoff?
No. Oh, why would you?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Johnny. Boy, he's cranky today, huh?
What is up his butt is what I'm
Well,
going to
I tell you what's up his butt. Kiss isn't going to tour anymore. He was waiting for Eddie Trunk to give him a ticket. Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi,
Go
Michael.
ahead, Michael.
How are you? I'm loving this conversation, and the Super Bowl party we were at, that came up, this whole kickoff thing. It's like, why don't they just put it on the 25? And I said, no, let's make it interesting. Let's have the kicker kick it through the field goal post, and if he does, you get like, I don't know, half a point or something. That way the whole element of surprise would still be there in the kickoff. You don't know what he's going to do.
There are guys that can kick. They can kick it through the uprights now.
Yeah.
That's how strong they are. Matter of fact, 2 Super Bowl records were set in field goal kicking in this last Super Bowl. Kickers are insane. They're insanely good. That's why it's always a shock when they shank one. You know, it's just pressure. Chris, would you like the half point as almost like a little salute to the gamblers out there?
Ooh, that'd be fun. And that's going to fuck up the hook big time.
You know what I heard is that in all the stuff, the fifth quarter screwed up the unders for people. You know, passing yards, rushing yards.
Yep. Because the game before the game, it settled at 46.5. The game ended at 47 points. And
wow.
Yeah.
Well, but also, how many yards is McCaffrey going to get in the air? How many yards is he going to get in the ground? Everything was over.
Exactly. Yeah, all the overs hit. It was ridiculous. That no one was thinking overtime. You know, when they send these lines, they didn't think that was going to happen.
So this is only the second time we're seeing overtime at a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Patriots, the time against the Falcons was the first time. I felt sorry for drunk people. I know it must have been a very difficult night for them. There's also some people calling this the greatest Super Bowl, which I'm sorry, it's not.
It really isn't.
It ended great. It ended fun.
It did, and
But you gotta, when you're saying greatest Super Bowl, say greatest Super Bowl.
Yes, I think that a good portion of that game was very slow and very conservative, and it took a while for the tension to really kick in. A very long time.
I'm going to tell you another Mongo Michael thing. In Daytona one time, he was, when we were at this party, saying some bad shit about my friend Randy Macho Man.
Say no more.
Now, here's what his beef was. Randy wouldn't look at him because they had a match, right, the next night. And he's like, he fucking takes this so serious. And I looked at him, I go, he's from a wrestling family. He's old school. He believes in kayfabe. He just didn't come fucking waddling in from Chicago after having a dirty career. And now you're going to attack, to me, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, he believes it. He gets into character. I mean, he's like the Daniel Day-Lewis of wrestling, okay? He's going to stay in it until the match.
He's in a family business.
He is.
Oh, yeah. It's a family business. This is my brother. He's written a poem for you that he'd like to do for everybody. And then he put it on a frisbee and he's going to throw it to you fine people. Also, I'm giving each and every one of you a Slim Jim. Make sure that you snap it. That's the best way. And this is my good friend Elizabeth. We're no longer together, but I will obsessively stalk her for the rest of her life.
There will be blood, but that's because he gigged.
That's right? Red turns to green, we say in this business, which means if you gash your forehead open, you get a little extra money for yourself. I go deep and I go often. John in Florida.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey.
My idea is if they kick it through the uprights, you place the ball on the 10-yard line.
That's interesting.
How about this? How about the 5?
Oh.
Make it spicy,
really
you know?
Yeah.
Or,
Make it really
and you
rough.
can also get the cheerleaders involved where they can build a pyramid to try to block it from going through the uprights.
If that happens, then you get the ball now from the other 20.
Oh, that's great.
I would like to see actually then using some very truly athletic cheerleaders. Then you get a flyer up, you pop her up, and she's got to catch
That's
it
a
in
pick.
midair. Yeah.
And then also you can make up your mind for the next play. You lose 2 offensive players, or you give the defense 2 more players.
This is
Oh,
wild.
I love this.
It's up to you.
I did hear they were thinking about doing the XFL rules where it's just like placed at the 50-yard line, everyone runs towards it. But this is much more fun.
Lou wrote to him and just said, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom, heart, heart, heart. That's all. Lou has won 3 Super Bowls, been to 4.
Wow.
In the past, I believe, 6 years.
That's impressive.
That's
very
nuts.
impressive.
You got to give him all the credit in the world. And I'll tell you right now, for all the stuff that's said, it's just about Patrick Mahomes. And it's not even just his ability. It's a will to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wants it. And he gets into the other fucking team's head. Like, they just know, oh, my God, Patrick's
But I mean, he wants to win. There's other players. Aaron Rodgers is one. He doesn't want to win. If you said to Aaron Rodgers, do you want another ring or do you want another MVP? He would take the MVP.
You're right.
Yeah. You're right.
He doesn't care about his teammates other than like Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. It's fucking really strange, that dude.
But there's some people saying that they had to kick back money to him.
What?
Yeah.
How much does he need?
Lazard was going, all of it.
What's
I
he
want
s-
all of it. I drink your milkshake.
Now, wait. Will Aaron Rodgers play next season? Like, where is he at with this
Yeah, he's going to play
ankle
next season.
injury? Yeah.
He's on contract.
First of all, Gail, we'll never know the truth about the ankle, whether it was
No.
even hurt anyway.
No.
We have no idea.
No, he took
But
it
he
down.
is playing next season. And the coach's job and the general manager's job depend on it. I wish him all the luck in the world. I hope he goes and wins it all for Earl.
For Earl, no.
Earl, do you believe he's going to take you to the championship you so desperately need?
I mean, as much as I didn't want him on this team, he's the best chance to take this team to the Super Bowl right now. And if he can get us there, please, I want one Super Bowl in my life.
Well, first of all, don't whine. You don't sound like a man when you do that. Okay? You sound like a child at his mother's teat. Chris is doing a perfect way that you are suckling on your mother's teat.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is going to fucking bang out both ACLs behind that O-line. It's a shit show over there.
You know what? We don't know. You know what I mean? Like, before the game was over today on Super Bowl Sunday, Romo's bringing up next year and the 3-peat. And I'm like, can we just put this season to bed?
Kelce got on that quick.
I am going to think about next season in September.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go, hey, what happened with the Jets O-line? Did they get anybody new? And that's when I'll find out.
They lost most of their linemen in a plane crash.
Chris.
Chris,
Oh,
you
Chris.
went too far.
No, Chris.
You know something, Chris? You put that into the universe right now. You're manifesting it.
I know, because everyone's been stealing your ideas, so why wouldn't the universe go, Chris had a crazy idea, let's do that. Oh, and by the way, I remembered what the other thing was.
Yeah.
So it was about Usher, and I believe it was the halftime producer, Jesse Collins, who was quoted as saying, Usher belongs in the musical Mount Rushmore.
Oh, come on.
And when I saw this, I went, Mayo, now this? Oh, this is hilarious.
One thing after another. And it would be Mount Halftime more, not the musical Mount Rushmore. Why don't people, if you're going to rip me off, do it in the proper fucking way.
You know who I wish would rip you off, Chris?
Who?
Larry David. I mean, this season of Curb. Have you guys seen any of it?
I haven't seen
watched
it
the
yet.
first one. I didn't watch the second one yet.
I'll just say this. This is my new song about it. Everyone knows it's cringy. Who's doing jokes just like 20 years ago? None of this stuff could happen at all. Now, did you watch Jon Stewart come back last night?
I did. I did watch Jon Stewart last night.
Yeah. My favorite thing that they did was Stewart, head, move. I thought it was great to see him back.
Agreed.
And I thought he had the Jon Stewart magic.
He did. I felt, I was enjoying it. I felt comforted. Perhaps it's a nostalgia thing, but it just felt like, oh, good. I can tune into this every week, and it's going to be all the things I liked before about it.
It was almost like he was gone zero amount of time. And I love that what they played instead of the old theme. So they're like, welcome back to the same old desk that you used to joke. What was the guy's name that hosted it for 9 years?
Trevor Noah.
If I was Trevor Noah, I'd put my head under the couch every Monday night.
God. Yeah.
I don't think Trevor ever found his, his real heat.
Nope, never. Not one day.
Yeah, it just never worked the same way. And I think that they tried to change it or kind of modify it for him, and it still just wasn't clicking the same way.
Before it launched, they were like, we're going to make this hipper and younger. More about like BuzzFeed and Facebook.
Yeah. Two things that are gone.
Two things that sound old as shit.
Yeah.
We're going to make this so Pinterest, your asshole's going to blow out.
What?
I mean, this is going to be like a TV version of LiveJournal.
This is Tumblr vision.
Or why aren't you throwing a line in?
Yeah, like say some social media references that are old and outdated.
Those clips are going to be on Vine every day.
Oh, well, Vine is still beloved.
Yeah, people love Vine.
They miss it every day.
A lot of great stars came from there.
We wouldn't have a TikTok without a Vine.
Thank you,
That's really the truth.
They're like a French in there or something.
Yeah. A makeout club.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys think it's weird that the season opened with an ACL injury and ended, Achilles injury with Rodgers and ended with that cornerback getting an Achilles injury just running onto the field? Bookended by Achilles.
Okay, I got to tell you, like, until you said it, it meant nothing to me. I wasn't thinking about Aaron Rodgers the other night, and then the guy who ran out and just fell down made me laugh.
I laughed too.
I mean, that's a dude that didn't stretch at all pregame.
I mean, I'm normally always thinking about Achilles, so I can't believe that this way. But I mean the Greek warrior Achilles.
Oh, sure. And his heel, his exposed heel. But that would be like me blowing my Achilles out going to get the mail. Oh, I'm so glad I said that. So the other day, I ran into my buddy, Eric, the mailman. He's my mailman, and he's a listener to the show. And I was literally like, it was one of those things where I was checking something on my phone. I was walking right by him, and then I look up and he was right there. And then he told me that he had to pull off the road when Chris Stanley told his story. He said he was so choked up about that. And it was like the sweetest thing, because he's not the kind of guy that talks that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
I've never, I've talked to him a lot, and he's a great guy. And, but I didn't think that, that would have, I know that Chris is, no offense, Chris, kind of girlish. And he's always telling his little sad, sweet stories.
I'm so sad.
You do have a girlish figure.
Oh, yeah. Curvy. Like Ice Spice.
You mean Satan?
She's in the Illuminati.
First of all, no one who would be a Satanist could have Sherry Lewis hair. That doesn't make sense. That does not compute.
Did you see that Sherry Lewis's niece is doing the old lamb shot?
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. Now, when I was a kid, I never liked a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
They just seemed weird to me.
Yeah. But there was something that was not weird about her. Like, there was something more comforting and sweet about Sherry Lewis. I'll agree with you for most of them. But I did like her, and I liked Lamb Chop.
It's been years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like her because it was like girl power?
I guess so, yeah. But Lamb Chop was so cute. And it's also Birdie's favorite toy. She doesn't like a lot of toys, but she loves her Lamb Chop.
But she chews on it. How do you know that she doesn't hate it?
Screw you, Lamb Chop.
I was never big into Lamb Chop.
Why don't we do this? Well, what were you big into, Chris?
I like
just burgers?
Just regular Lamb Chops.
What were you big into?
I liked Sesame Street as a child.
Yep. So what? I didn't feel the need to choose.
There's no ventriloquist on Sesame Street. That's Muppet work.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Those
right.
people are hiding.
Muppeteers?
Ventriloquist is throwing his voice into it.
Talking on the side of the mouth.
Candace Bergen. Yeah. Candace Bergen, father was Edgar Bergen. And he was probably the first famous ventriloquist in the country, right? And he used to do his ventriloquism on the radio.
What?
Okay.
Like people would listen to the radio and he would be very, very popular. But Candace says that when she was a little girl, the puppet or whatever you would call it had its own bedroom. And that she would be a little girl and walk past the bedroom and look in there.
Oh, boy.
Let's see yeah. And people were very weirded out because, like I said, they've even made like horror movies about a ventriloquist.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They're unsettling.
People have almost like the same feeling that they would have about an evil clown.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
They say 2 out of every 10 murders are by a ventriloquist or it's dummy.
That's terrifying.
I had a buddy who was like a ventriloquist, right? Back when you could still do that at comedy clubs. His name was Pete Hefty, and his dummy's name was Justin, right? And he said that one time Justin was doing some crowd work in like a biker bar, and the guy got up and broke a bottle over the dummy's head. Just fucking laid his dummy out. And then Pete was like a really sweet, soft-spoken guy. And then when he was playing our club, and we're like, hey, you want to come back in a month or so? And then he was talking to us about it. And then he picked up Justin, and Justin started going, hey, man, I don't know if you're paying him the going rate that he's getting these days.
Oh, my God.
And Pete would be like, Justin, come on, I go back a long time with these guys. And if I ever have an off week, they take care of me. And he was like, yeah, they take advantage of you is what they're doing, Pete. You're always there when they need you. And I was like, just fucking pay him.
I don't want to fight with Justin.
I'm too scared right now.
By the way,
I'm too scared of Justin.
It feels like their names should be swapped. Like Justin is a regular guy, and Pete Hefty is your dummy.
Well, Pete, his last name was Hefty, and he wasn't Hefty.
Oh,
he's a very attractive, well-built young man. I never even thought of it the way that you just said. And Justin did not have a last name.
Really?
Yeah.
Justin Hefty.
All right. Right back, Bennington.
Faction Talk 103. It's the Bennington Show. Faction Talk 103. It's the Bennington Show.
The Bennington Show. Hey, thanks to everybody who came out last night for the interview that we did with Gary Goldman. It was a ton of fun. He's just such a hilarious guy, and he's also a really sweet and sensitive guy as well.
It was such a fantastic interview. I loved every minute of it.
Every minute?
Every minute, Ron. Every single minute.
All right, you gotta come up with a name for the series then. That'll be your
every minute
contribution to it. Before we move on, I have another Pete Hefty story. Pete Hefty and Justin.
Good.
So there's this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he was a comic that only worked titty bars, right? And the really big ones, the famous ones. And apparently he was somehow, a lot of these things were run through, let's say, a syndicate of some kind.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So he made good money doing it, and didn't go. And he also put out albums from him in the titty bars that I was like, yeah, man, this fucking guy's got albums, This is way back in the 80s. So Justin and him were doing something in Miami Beach, and it wasn't at one of those bars. It was at a nightclub who were doing like a night of comedy and had those two guys. Mm-hmm. So they do their show, and the guy tells them to, hey, we'll have the money tomorrow. Step back into the club the next day. And this guy's driving Pete and Justin over, and he's hungover. So he goes, Pete, run in and get the money for us, right? So Pete goes in there, and like I said, he's a real sweetheart. And the guy said, I ain't got any money for you. You know what I mean? Sorry, pal. We weren't blah, 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 and we're not paying you guys. So he goes out with the car, and he goes, you're not going to believe this. They're not paying us. If I can just say, they're not going to be on the side of the deal. And this comic, like I said, all he works is titty bars. So it's not like he hasn't been around weird shit before. He goes, what the fuck? What? They're not paying us. He hits his glove box, reaches in, grabs a piece.
What?
Fucking heads in to the fucking titty bar. Pete's sitting out there like, I don't know, fuck shit, right? Guy comes back, gets in the car and starts driving. And Pete says, so what happened? Did he pay us? He goes, yeah, he gave us a raise. He took all the fucking money.
That's awesome.
Big raise.
Yeah, took it all. That story always made me laugh, though. Yeah, I'd love to see Pete again someday. I'd love to see you guys meet Pete Hefty and Justin. I'm glad they're still out there doing their thing.
Hell
man.
yeah.
Oh, all right, Chris, I sent you a thing. This is really funny. This is from Goldie Hawn's Instagram. Now, her family, how many of them are big-time actors these days, right? How many people in that family?
Yeah, a minimum of 3 are huge movie stars.
No, the 2 boys are also big time.
Oh, true. Oh,
yeah.
Goldie Hawn is not only one of the biggest movie stars of all time, but I think she wins as my first celebrity when I was a youngster. And Kurt Russell, to me, I brought it up on the show before. He's just great. Everything's about them is great. So the family is together watching this thing, but they had put their dog in a commercial. So here's this giant show business family, literally a movie star and TV star family, watching the Super Bowl, and listen how happy they are when their dog shows up.
Here he is! Here's Roy.
All right. Let's do it the old school way.
Let's go. Here's Roy. Here's Roy!
And it's like an amazing commercial. Star of the commercial.
Oh, Ryan.
Oh, Roy.
Is that the greatest thing ever?
A whole family full of movie stars, and they're losing their mind because their dog's on TV.
That's
Kurt
awesome.
Russell was the star of Tombstone, and he cares about Roy more than seeing himself on TV.
I love Roy.
Yeah. What's his son's name? That is so great. I'm trying to think of it, but there's a thing where those two were, because they're doing a show together now, and they're doing an interview and just laughing their ass off doing it. It's like one of the sweetest things I've ever seen.
Wyatt Russell.
Love him.
He's great.
Love Wyatt Russell.
He was on a weird AMC TV show, like The Cabin or something like that.
No, it was The Lodge.
The Lodge,
And
that's it.
You liked The Lodge? Oh man, we lost Ron.
I think we lost Ron for a second. Let me see what I can do.
We lost your audio.
We lost your audio, Ron.
He can't hear us either. I don't think.
All right, he can't hear. All right, so he may have to reset. I'm going to text Ron.
Okay, if you can hear us, reset, because we are doing things in a big snowstorm here in New York. Which, by the way, this was the weirdest thing to me. I sent a message to friends upstate, and they don't have so much as a flake. And this is like an hour north of me. It's like, what a weird-shaped winter storm this was.
It's really bizarre. Like, Long Island got hit, upstate got hit, Jersey got hit. The city, it's just slush, and it's like I was looking down the ground. There's almost nothing left.
But it's like it's a huge difference from just like I'm not much more north than you are.
No. And yet, the heat of all these people and buildings protecting
this is the craziest thing. So, you know how we were talking, the city called off school today, but instead of doing just a full-on snow day, they're remote. So they have to do exactly what they would have done during the pandemic. They're doing remote learning.
It's a living nightmare.
So the mayor, who we were just talking about, the mayors yesterday, and how every single New York City mayor has been annoying. And I said, I don't know, maybe this current mayor is driving me the most crazy. But then at the same time, he's fun and funny. So he does this press conference this morning that was just blaming parents, saying, my mother, with her arthritic knees, used to walk me to school during a snowstorm, during blizzards. And if you're telling me you can't set your kids up for remote learning and sit there and set them up, this is a teachable moment for you.
That's good.
We're also talking about people who have jobs, right? Like that maybe his mom didn't have to sit next to him at school for 6 hours. Also, city kids never get snow days. Like, they never get them. So this would have been one single snow day. Let the kids play in the park.
They belong on Zoom.
Just let the kids have a day.
You know who gets snow days is Staten Island kids.
Oh.
Right. They do get snow days because they're like, they have to drive. I think that in the city they go, if the trains are running, you can get to school.
Right. Our intern Sarah was driving in from Long Island.
I was texting with her this morning. She said the roads were terrible.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. Let her know that to make her own call every time.
I did.
I don't want to make somebody. I know you. I mean, she doesn't even have to check with you. Just don't, don't come in and let you know later.
Exactly.
But, it's no big deal. Take a little snow day.
Yeah.
I want her to be safe first and foremost.
The mayor would judge her harshly for that, but.
The mayor's a terrible person.
He's awful. And it was such an annoying, like, we used to have to walk in the snow and my mother with her arthritic knees would get us to school. Shut up.
How does he not know that's like the worst cliche?
It's the worst, right?
We used to have to walk to school in the snow both ways. It'd be 12 feet.
Right.
And meanwhile, the server for remote learning crashed for an hour and a half, so kids couldn't even go online if they wanted to.
Let's not be anti-technology.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Those people are doing everything they can do.
Those IT departments are hard at work.
I have friends who are like trying to work from home today and their kids are in the city. So they're sitting there trying to watch their kid on Zoom while they're doing their work. And my friend said, man, this remote learning is really a waste of time. It's just kids randomly interrupting and saying weird thoughts. Like they don't feel like they're in regular school, so they just keep chiming in and saying weird things because it's a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds.
That's how school should be then.
One kid just interrupted and was just like, I wish I had a pet rabbit.
What's that have to do with anything?
I just saw that RFK Jr. is doing this thing with all these right-wing comics, which makes me laugh because they're like not for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just to steal votes away.
Right.
Poor Cheryl Hines. I mean, what has she done with herself?
God.
It's a great question, man.
One day she's defending RFK Jr. for acting like he's his uncle. The next day she has to turn around and do Larry David. And if you're doing a night, how come your friends aren't there? Where's Jeff Garland?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's
That's
Larry
true.
David?
Susie.
Susie.
I'd love to see Susie.
I haven't seen Susie do stand up since she hit the Larry David jackpot.
Yeah. She's so great and so funny.
I don't know why they're dressing her the way they're dressing her this year. Though.
They've gotten crazy with her costume.
She's going to a Halloween prom.
She's always been like a loud dresser. The character has been a loud dresser, but now it's just like a full jump the shark. Like it's absolutely insane the things they put her in. Have you guys watched the most recent True Detective Night Country?
I did.
Was shocked.
Thoughts, feelings.
Shock.
I was
Just
aghast.
Pure shock.
Yeah. Mouth agape.
I put my hand to my mouth as it was agape. I couldn't believe that shit.
Didn't see it coming.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Never thought they would cross over to that side of doing things.
Yes.
But they have.
I'm going to ask a question in the most non-spoiler way that I can possibly ask.
Thank you.
But when she was saying think, she was just saying think before you act because the decision you make is forever.
I believe
final.
so, yeah.
Okay. I was just wanting to, because, there's so many little clues and things and she's awake. And I'm like,
Too much.
This? Yeah, I just want to make sure that all she was saying there is like this moment is going to be forever no matter how it shakes out. So don't be reactionary.
We've got only one more episode, and I I mean, there's too much to wrap up.
Will this one also be on Friday, or will we go back to
I think
the
that
Sunday?
was, first of all, I missed the Friday because I didn't know that we were dodging the Super Bowl, which I guess is what they were doing.
Yeah.
I would have went right up against them, taking their ass down.
Cut into those millions they're bragging about.
Can I just say this? Everybody's making a big deal about the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
But if they didn't play against the 49ers, I mean, that game would have been ridiculous. It would just have been one team running up and down the field. So let's give a big Chiefs Kingdom salute to the San Francisco 49ers. They were good decades ago. When you're looking at a dynasty, right? Mm-hmm. Do you include 94 with the 80s dynasties, or is that now a standalone?
I feel it's standalone. Personally.
You feel like it has to fall within the decade? What if it's on a cusp?
But here's the thing: the Chiefs are on a cusp, I believe, right?
They're cuspers.
Yeah. But here's the thing: there was a different quarterback in '94,
and it's the Steve Young thing. That's why I say different from the Montana dynasty.
Right, but you still had the same great receiver who was considered the, why doesn't he get some leader of the pack?
Look, I understand, but I'm a man of the people, and the people see the QB as the leader of the pack. Now, Jerry Rice, he's goated for sure, forever.
Do you think the people see that, or does the man want you to see that, bruh? You know what I mean?
I didn't even think
because look
of
around.
That.
You consider this a democracy? What about the 1% of the 1% of the 1%? Earl, I'm gonna let you pick. Dynasty or standalone?
I think this is a dynasty. I mean, he's always been in the championship mix every year. He has been a starter, and
What are you talking about?
I mean, the Chiefs.
We were talking about
that's
San
not
Fran.
what we're talking about at all. We were talking about San Francisco in the 80s and 90s.
Montana v. Young.
Yeah,
Montana.
Don't try to jump back in now.
I'm turning his mic off.
Act like you're in this conversation. As far as I'm concerned, the Chiefs stand alone. The Chiefs stand alone. High over the Chiefs stand alone. Earl, you got to get in the middle and march around like this.
Yeah. To make this work.
This is National Cheddar Day, which you were fucking talking about earlier today.
And yet you bring up no cheddar-related topics, Earl.
Can I tell you? He brought up 2 feta-related topics. And I'm like, where's this going?
Not the same.
Gail, you brought up a term, and I said, please tell me during the show, because I've never heard this before, and it's Earth Hour.
Okay. So Earth Hour, which I believe they observe in Australia, and then some other smaller countries have something similar, is where it's in order to kind of cut down on electricity, show some respect for nature, everyone turns the lights out at the same time. Cities, towns, everyone lights out.
I love it.
You go outside and you observe the sky. You actually see the sky without light pollution. And people have been saying it would be great if the United States could do something like this, if we could literally just New York City, black, complete darkness. And I wonder, though, with our own culture, would this just turn into a purge here?
Here's the first thing I would say. Don't do it in New York City first. Try it in a county, okay? Try it in 2 counties. Yeah. Try it in 3. Go into the farmland. Said we're turning off what little lights we have.
Right.
All right? Mm-hmm. When people see what the entire galaxy looks like, when they see the Milky Way out in front of them, people around the country are going to push for it. This idea is great.
Only once have I seen the sky in a very pure form. I'm a city kid, so I'm not used to seeing it. And I was out in Arizona in the desert. We went out at night with a big group, and it was insane to see the band of the Milky Way. Something that just a few generations ago was common to look out and just be in awe of stars. We are very disconnected too, especially if you live in a city, but even if you live in the suburbs, like you don't see the depth of light.
Let me tell you, I saw it one time in Woodstock, New York, which is crazy, right?
Right,
But we were out in the woods there, and just one night, wasn't every night, one night we went up and you could see the Milky Way. And it was a couple of us, and one of the people, I don't want to say who, started getting jelly-legged. Whoa. Up at it. It felt like they were going to fall into the universe. That's how overwhelming it was to them. So I said we could do this, but we got to make it a fad, a TikTok fad.
Yes.
Try to find people who are like, we'll do it in our county. We'll do it in Iowa. We'll do it in places where you got half a head start,
Right.
People will want it. They'll come, Ray. They'll come, and they won't even know why. This could be so our cool sky of dreams.
Staring out into the dark night for the first time was really, because in New York you can see the Big Dipper maybe on a good night. That's it. At least
that's
for me.
Brooklyn. That ain't Manhattan. You don't see the Big Dipper.
I find Little Dipper easier to see.
Lou has a fresh, different take on True Detective, and I'll tell you something right now. She's in the kingdom. She's in the Chief's kingdom, and she's living large.
Chief's kingdom, baby.
Yeah. Every day.
Oh, my God.
Champagne, caviar, cigars.
Yeah, I'm living that dream. Gail, you about the think about it when I'm confused now. What was her name?
Jodie Foster.
Yeah, Jodie Foster. So when she was on there, I had the closed caption on, so I don't know if that made a difference or not. But like, I was reading it completely the other way, where she was like, think about, like, making him think about, I don't know if I'm giving a spoiler, but think about the dad. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It kind of has to happen because.
Right. Like she's saying, put it together. This makes sense that he was the guy.
Oh,
right. That's what I got from it. And especially the way it was typed out. Like, I don't know why that made a difference, but.
Right. Yeah. Because she's always pushing him. That's why I questioned it, because she's always pushing them to ask the right questions. And she's like, she feels like this sage for these two guys, the two other cops.
Well, the young guy is sharp. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's probably better detective than her. You know what I mean? He's he's able to pull in all the different types of things, where she's almost a beat it out of him detective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But this last episode, I might have to have a gun ready to shoot myself.
Don't, Rob.
You don't think
I'm
that's
not
going to
put myself through the pain. I'm not going to put myself through the pain, Chris.
You said about your possible thought what could be happening with people seeing dead people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with the town, the oil, the
water, the black water? Yes. I think
like the black water, like
has everybody tripping balls.
I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. Are we going to get more information about the car accident in this next episode? It's going to tie in.
It's all we're going to get. It's all we're going to get is the information. We're going to get so much information. There's only one more. Yeah. There's only one more.
Feels like there needs
but we're going to have to start our own Reddit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And just like we're going to have a central place where all the information can come in, because we're not going to understand it completely.
No way.
There's too much going on True Detective.
Night Country.
We need a Night Country pod.
Gotta chop it up.
Hey, guess what? Earth Hour in Night Country.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's all fucking coming together.
Incredible Earth hours there.
This season needed 8 episodes. 6 is too little.
No, 6 is just enough. I can't take the tension anymore, Chris. I'm not enjoying a minute of this fucking show.
I agree. There hasn't been 1 minute that I'm happy I'm watching it. I'm uncomfortable. I'm anxious. And many times I'm truly frightened.
And I've been drinking black water while I watch it. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Doobie Brothers gonna play a song called Black Water. Earl, Doobie Brothers, where would you rank them in all-time bands? Give me a number.
62.
Musical Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I had them at 74.
No, Earl, too high.
Yeah. I mean, I even have 2 doo-wop groups in front of them. And I'll be honest, Earl, they barely even interest me until Michael McDonald comes into the picture. And then I'm like leaning in. Go ahead, soul man. Earl, why is every great soul singer white? This would be the next thing that you write. You write for Rolling Stone.
You love Blue Eyed Soul?
I mean, there's some great Blue Eyed Soul.
You know who hates, Daryl Hall hates the term Blue Eyed Soul. Hates it.
He just thinks it's just soul.
No, he thinks it's just blue eyes. He's like, just call it blue eyes. Who cares what we're singing? We're fucking dreamy. Earl, Chris, I'm going to ask you, that power pop thing that you had going yesterday.
Yes.
Where did you get that?
I found a nice power pop playlist that I could also send to you, Ron, if interested.
Where's it at? I mean, what's the deal with it?
YouTube.
I don't generally just leave my YouTube on for music stuff.
Right, because you can't minimize it, because then it turns off, right?
I know I don't need to see stuff when I'm listening. I will, I'll just, I'm an Apple Music guy. I know that I'm not part of the Pandora world. I forget what the other one, but it's even more popular. But I would just rather it's nice and clean on Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
I can try to find you a nice power pop on Apple Music. I'll sign up.
Why don't you just recreate
Bro,
that
like I
same
don't
playlist.
have a fucking power pop on. I do. But what I'm trying to say to you is like that one that you were playing yesterday, I didn't necessarily recognize.
I'll be to get it for you.
Earl, who's your favorite power pop group of all time?
Badfinger.
The answer is Cheap Trick.
That's the answer. That's the correct answer, and I knew it.
Yeah. It's got to be. And I'm going to say something right now. I believe the cars are there. All right. That's it for us, kids. Stay safe. Stay cool. We'll see you tomorrow.
Father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. And to celebrate, I'm going to delete all the bean fetish videos I shot on my webcam this weekend. I'm E-Money, a.k.a. the cloud computing king of Corona. It's Ron Bennington.
Father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. I'm Gail Bennington.
I'm Ron Bennington. I recorded the game so nobody ruined it for me.
It's going to be difficult. I thought we were all going to discuss it.
No. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Okay.
I can't wait to see it.
Ron.
No.
I hope, I hope there were no injuries. You know?
Oh, God.
And I hope there wasn't a terrorist attack.
I mean, no.
I just saw the shutterbugs walking up the hall. Any big celeb in there? I'm being told no.
Getting a shake off.
Nobody. You didn't want to use your phone to record. I'm looking at this Jason Kelce, all fat and sweaty, dancing with a Rey Mysterio Jr. mask on, making sure he's on the stage dancing in front of people.
Good.
Yes,
That's good.
Just like the world's biggest luchador for some reason. Because we know they're tiny.
Little guys.
Little guys.
I don't get it. Those Kelce brothers.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I don't get it.
The honeymoon is over for the Kelce boys.
You don't like Viva Las Vegas seven times in a row?
Not only do I not like it, but I saw that face Taylor Swift made when he was screaming Viva Las Vegas for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice. He hit it 4 or 5 times. And they cut to her, and it wasn't overt.
Yeah.
It was just a certain look in the eye that told me, I've made a huge mistake.
I don't know how anybody is with anyone else, so I don't know what goes on there.
People are annoying. I agree
There
with
was
that.
also no reason for Travis to be on the stage then. He wasn't a coach or an owner, and he didn't win MVP.
No.
He didn't catch the winning touchdown.
Well, you got to be MVP to get up there.
Yes.
Now, the guy who did catch the winning touchdown, let's see if we can find him, because he was adorable. He said that he blacked out, but he looked like a young Eddie Murphy to me. He looked and sounded like a young Eddie Murphy.
That was the cutest moment.
Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, see if you, all right.
Bring him on the stage, yeah.
I can find him on the stage. That was him in the post game.
I would say Earl could look for that in the other room, but I know that he's clearing out his computer right now.
I don't know why he's talking about National Clean Out Your Computer Day.
What? Why was that?
Well, he didn't want to give anything away because I haven't seen the game
I
yet.
guess that must be what he was thinking.
There's other things to talk about other than cleaning out your
hold on. Are we on the air?
Uh-oh.
We should be on the air.
Yeah.
Everyone is
so
just
I get a
concerned.
thing. Everything went silent, and then that's it. Earl, you need to speak up.
Yes, we are.
So miss what you said is what I got. So Earl, what exactly happened? Was I being racist?
You weren't being racist. It was just everything just went dark for a sec.
Well, what was I saying at the time so I could catch everybody up on the setup?
You were talking about the guy who caught the winning touchdown.
Oh, no, I said it was like a young Eddie Murphy. All right.
Here he is.
Here's former Jet, Mecole Hardman.
Blacked out when I caught the ball, though. So, but it feels awesome.
Well, listen, take that and go celebrate with the rest of your teammates. There it is.
Yeah, that
Trophies
wasn't
in
what
the
we were
hands.
looking for. It was something that happened down on the field. Look how little that they make the stage.
It's so tiny.
The whole team can't get up there.
This isn't for all of you, okay?
Yeah.
VIPs.
Did you ever see them rush out the losing team? They rush them out and they put like fence up so they can't get back.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why do they do that? What was
Because this is a TV show and people want to see happiness, not
Right.
the agony of defeat. Also, they don't want anybody walking over and yelling, "You didn't deserve this."
Yeah.
You know.
I do get sad when you see like anyone on the losing team and like they've just got like the confetti in their hair and they're just on the sidelines.
I mean, it's a
Pretty
perfect
sad.
thing. Last night, either team could have won. And as a matter of fact, the Niners probably were controlling that game 95% of the time.
Oh, for sure.
I bet they saved money on red confetti though. They're like, hey, we're dropping red confetti no matter
Oh, yeah,
what.
no matter what's happening. All right, you think you got him?
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I caught that pass and I blacked out.
I blacked out.
Oh, man.
That is
Now, what I love about that is the amount of stress that this stupid game has.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of this time.
Yeah.
Dozens of weeks leading up to just this one game.
That's such a fight or flight too. Like his body was like, as the ball was headed towards him, you know, his body was like, I can't handle this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shut down. Hopefully you catch it, but I can't be present for this.
Body, hold on.
Isn't that weird? Like that moment. That it's just like the tiniest moment changes his life, everybody's
life.
team
Yeah.
life.
And this guy won't be with the team probably even next year.
Oh, for
but
sure
he
no.
caught the winning touchdown in overtime. Now, let me just say this. Travis Kelce, okay. You're acting like a big idiot. You got the most popular girl on the planet on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
You've grown a big beard and it doesn't seem to turn her off, right? But, he's winning. He's got it.
He's a winner.
His brother, Jason, all right? There is a story from SNL when Eddie Murphy broke out as a 19-year-old and became a movie star on the show. And people would say that Eddie Murphy's popularity has gone to Joe Piscopo's head because he thought they were both
Right.
Eddie Murphy.
Like
But
we're doing it.
Jason you're a center, okay? The fact that you got popular in Philadelphia was a long shot.
Yeah, that's
true. It doesn't happen. Stop running around and acting like you're the town drunk that everybody should enjoy.
And everyone was fine when you were celebratory for you and your team. That made sense. But it's just the whole kind of second half of this season, him kind of making it about himself.
100%.
Please move Earl's ass in there. He's not answering phones. So the other thing is this, too. He's showing up wearing Chiefs gear, right?
Yeah.
His wife will not do that because she's a real Philly girl.
Yep.
Right.
So she'll go, I'll wear red for my brother, but I ain't putting on a fucking Chiefs jersey.
Yeah, I like that. I appreciate it.
We've seen this when they played the Bills. When he was fucking in Bills Mafia pounding booze at their fucking tailgate.
Yeah.
Like, he's just there to just get love from anyone who will give it to him.
Why is he such a bottomless pit of neediness?
I have no idea.
What happened in his childhood that he would feel this way?
I was watching Earl answering calls, putting them up, and then losing them one after another.
Yeah, okay. I saw it.
I don't want to be that guy today. You know what I mean? It's National Clean Out Your Computer Day.
Yeah.
That's where my
like
head
a holiday.
should be at.
They should make that a holiday, right?
Yeah. But the game overall, slow burn.
For sure.
Very much so.
Very, very slow. Then got exciting. And then, went on for an extra quarter. And all I could think of is a lot of drunk people missed the best part of it.
That's true. That's
Either
true. You started
passed
early.
out drunk.
Yep.
Or blacked out drunk.
Yeah. It was weird that, like, about the third quarter, I was like, wow, this still doesn't feel like it's kicking in.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, like halfway through the fourth? I mean, even at that point, it was a close game, yet it didn't feel tense. Like, you were just like, okay, this is a close game. Almost thank God for the OT.
Yeah.
Because it made it exciting.
And, it could have went either way. You know who they blamed the loss on when I woke up this morning and I put on Get Up?
Mm-hmm.
It was the coach, San Francisco coach,
Shanahan,
for taking receiving the ball in overtime instead of kicking. They decided.
But isn't that normally what that's the normal
They say
case.
In this case, you want to have, because it's kind of a rule change this year, you want to have it second. That way you can use your fourth down, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But look, if his defense would have fucking held, none of this fucking matters. No one ever blames the player.
Right.
Never. No, everyone's like really up his ass for this brand new fucking overtime rules that no one's ever been in.
Right.
In the league history.
Right. And I was explaining to people what the rules were going to be, and they were like, what? No, it doesn't work like that. I go, they even said it during the game.
They worked very fast to get those rules out once it happened.
Now, Sarah, she had never watched professional football in her life, and you were at a football / Valentine's Day party.
Yes, I was.
How many people were there?
It was not that good. It was like 20 people, maybe.
Okay, 20 people.
Very good.
That's more than I want to watch a football game.
Yeah, I agree.
That's way more. Matter of fact, my sister-in-law had like 10 people at her house, and her sister kept texting me going, these fuckers are talking the whole time.
Oh my God.
And none of them are watching the game.
It's infuriating.
She was infuriated.
Well, that's very typical, I feel, of any Super Bowl party. That's
why I won't have one.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who don't normally watch football. That happens a lot.
Now, did you have to have a Valentine, or is just celebrating the day?
Or was it a Super Galentine?
It was like a dress-up Valentine's Day or dress-up for football. So basically all the girls were wearing Valentine's Day stuff and brought cookies and very cute Galentine's vibes.
Yeah.
But then like the boyfriends were wearing football gear.
Yeah, and doing coke.
As they do.
No, I'm not that hungry right now.
All right, you said that this was your first time watching a game. Scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy the Super Bowl?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm really competitive. Like I like competition. I like games. But there's just something about football that never
did it
grabbed
for
me.
you.
But
Would you rather play than watch?
I'm not playing.
Okay, so
I don't want to. They're violent to each other. They
yeah,
don't
but
appreciate each other.
I meant football. I meant, would you rather play the game than watch the game, no matter what the game was?
If it's like a physical sport game, I'm probably not going to be good at it, but I will try.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what is the games that you like to play?
Board games.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Fun.
Board, B-O-R-E-D games?
Tabletop gaming is what you're talking about.
So any questions at all?
Oh my God, so many questions.
Yeah.
I thought Travis was like the star because, listen, I don't
know.
know.
So does Travis.
Yeah. I don't know anything about like positions, anything like that. But I've heard so much about him. He's like all over my Twitter feed every day. He was barely there. I feel like I barely saw him.
Well, the first half for sure.
Yeah, the first half he had one catch.
He one catch for 1 yard.
But the reason is because it's a big game, is they completely shut him down. You know what I mean? They made sure if we lose this game, it isn't going to be to Travis Kelce.
Right.
We'll put extra people there, force him to go somewhere else. Because really, is there a lot of targets outside?
No. So Mahomes is this season. Everyone was down on the Chiefs because Kelce was the guy for Mahomes to throw to. Everyone else was a hodgepodge.
Right.
Of bums.
I wouldn't say bums. They're professional football players.
Now they're Super Bowl
One of them
winners.
blacked out and still caught the ball.
That guy, that's the guy who fumbled through the end zone last week or 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "Well, Mecole Hardman's never going to see the fucking the field again," and he catches the goddamn.
What about Pacheco? Who I was like, if anyone's going to be MVP today, it's going to be Pacheco, and he was a fucking disaster.
Ridiculous disaster. So bad, like 3 or 4 times.
That's the thing is like you can play football. There's 22 people out there and have a half where you don't really touch a football.
Was that why he was so mad and yelling at that old man?
The old man.
The old man.
First of all, I'm pissed about that. I'm pissed. Not so much they just yelled him, but touched him.
Unbelievable.
Scared him.
This was a really bad look. And to explain, I would even go so far as to say this isn't something that you see. It's not part of the culture of the game where you would see a player that aggressive with a coach. Like, obviously, emotions run high. You see players get into it with each other. But this was a particularly... it was a bad look. I just thought it was a really bad look.
With a coach who he's been with for his entire career, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not only that, drafted his brother.
Yes.
Drafted when he was in Philadelphia. And this guy is not young, not particularly healthy.
No. He's had some past traumas, family history that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, he's been through tragedy. And he knows more about football than Travis will if he's around for another 30 years.
Right.
So this was just Travis being a baby taking a temper tantrum because he wasn't in there when the play went down. But also he wasn't in there because they knew they were going to run. And I don't think he would have been the guy to recover football.
He's also, am I wrong to say Andy Reid is a particularly liked and appreciated coach.
He's beloved.
Yeah. He's very loved.
I mean, he's beloved in Philly. Even after being out of Philly, people still love the guy.
And Reid has to think about everything being the fucking head coach. He doesn't need, Kelce should fucking at least know, right? If he wants to win so bad, don't get in the fucking head of Andy Reid when he's calling the goddamn plays.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point.
I didn't even think of it that way, but yes.
Also show some fucking respect.
Yes.
And it was over because Andy Reid is not the type of guy who's going to let this, do this, but not to bring social interest into this. But if that was a black player, it's all people would be talking about today.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know
You're right.
You're 100% correct.
This got dropped almost immediately.
He was forgotten about, man.
Yeah.
I mean, these Kelces are getting away with murder.
They really are.
They really are. All right, what's your next question?
Well, overall, just the violence in general. Like, I don't know what team this was or whatever, but there was a number 38 guy that punched some other guy.
Yes.
They punch, why are they so violent?
They're very punchy.
They need to calm down.
It's a violent game, and we're at the least violent it's ever been. When I was, my father took me to a football game when I was 5. And I thought that he took me to a riot because the fighting on the field, off the field, the drunk men who ran on the field and were tackled by cops. I mean, I'm like, this is... So I've never taken my kids to a football game. Mm-hmm. I feel like people who take their kids, their girlfriends... I mean, people have been killed at games, and people have been paralyzed on the field. It's a pretty fucking ugly game.
Is there like personal beefs after, or is it like let bygones be bygones, or like because
they know that they all get into a frenzy at that time.
They get very worked up.
Yeah, they're all hopped up on something.
Oh God,
I mean?
yeah. And like these guys. Some guys, I guess, have personal beefs with people, but that's much less rare.
Right.
And, like, I was even thinking about, not necessarily about this moment with Kelce and Reed, but, like, even just Kelce on the stage afterwards. I'm like, I get that there's just probably an adrenaline rush that we can't really understand that he's experiencing. Yeah, we can only compare him to regular humans. So we're just like, you're not acting like a regular human, dude. You're acting nuts.
All right, what else do we have?
So I know that like in sports they wear like mouth guards and stuff.
Yeah.
But what was his name? The main guy, the quarterback guy.
Mahomes.
Yeah. Why was he wearing Invisalign? It didn't even look like a mouth guard.
He
was like chewing on it.
I did not catch on to this.
So it's like a clear mouth guard.
I thought they were like colorful and like big. He's like always chewing on it.
Oh, he's one of the guys that chews on it outside.
Yeah, like some wide receivers will have like ones with like designs on it or whatever.
I mean, he also has to yell to his team what's happening. Bring up things, changing plays, pointing out what their defenses are. So he may feel like he can't do that with a giant mouth guard. But I will admit, I never paid any attention to this.
I guess I had Invisalign growing up, so it was like all I saw. I was like, bro, keep it in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's for your teeth health, Patrick.
But then that's another thing, like the coach people on the side, they're like talking into microphones. Who is hearing that?
Well, there's people up high that are calling plays and relating to stuff. You have coaches that aren't on the field. They're up in what would be called a luxury box.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Or almost like a media box. So they're seeing things. It's like pretend army where you have scouts up in the air talking back and forth.
Never really thought about it that way, but it is.
Yeah, the whole sport I believe is between chess and military.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then some people are talking to the quarterback, like
so he has like a mic. Like he has.
Yeah, he's mic'd.
That sounds distracting.
Which means you got to take the mouth guard out. Chew on the little.
Exactly, yeah.
Steph
but
Curry
he can't talk to them.
He can't talk to them, and I think there's some rule. It's like it cuts off with 10 seconds left in the play clock, something like that. There's a cutoff rule.
Well, they have to stop these guys from talking because it'll slow the game down.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I didn't know that they couldn't communicate back.
No,
they're supposed to call a play, and that's it.
Got it.
When I was younger, the quarterback would call the plays, or they would send somebody in.
Right.
So if you looked at one of the reasons people don't Joe Namath's things in the Super Bowl weren't, great stats, but he called that entire game.
It's great.
And he, called the running plays, and he found out where their weaknesses are. Most people couldn't do that. Peyton Manning would be able to do it.
He could do it.
Very few. All right. What else? These are good.
Well, they were like, same with the coaches, like talking in the microphone. They were like covering their mouths with paper. I'm like, is it that deep? Like, are they really like listening and watching?
Yes.
Are they reading lips
they
across
will
the
read
field?
lips. Same thing happens in baseball. Guys will put their hand up when they're talking to the catcher because they will steal it.
Because the ones who are playing Army up there,
Yeah.
they're watching.
Professional mouth, like lip readers?
They got lip readers.
Yeah, they'll have people on the sideline just staring at the opposing coaches, just seeing if they can get any glimmer of what the fuck's about to happen.
They're going to try to score a touchdown.
You're not helping.
They're trying to get points against us, and we got to get more points than they get.
Miss Lippy's car.
These are good questions, though. I'm very impressed with you, Sarah. Impressed with that. I'm impressed with your grandparents liking Rod Stewart. Hey, Meat, what's up?
Hey, Ron, I want to get your take on something. I know it's the Super Bowl, biggest game of the entire year. What's your thought on Kelce banging into the old Walrus man because he was pissed? He only had one catch for 1 yard. Would you ever consider sitting him, even though it's the Super Bowl?
The answer is this isn't high school, okay? This is not high school. This is why they let people who have assaulted people or sexually assaulted people back into the game.
Oh yeah,
because
many criminals back into the game.
Many criminals are playing in this game
for sure.
And also wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
When Billy Jack killed his wife.
Oh no!
And I'm like, why do so many wrestlers kill their wives? You know what I mean?
They are very killy.
And then I thought,
dark.
But he didn't kill his children, so we're getting
that's
better.
positive.
Not like Benoit.
Chris in Queens.
Just saying.
Guys, I was at I think it was the last Monday night game at Shea, and my dad took me there. I was younger, so you were saying about how things have changed. It's not that violent. That fucking game was insane. I witnessed people repeatedly get beat up in the stands. A guy peeing off the mezzanine. There were fires everywhere. Inside Shea, there were fires.
Yeah.
So it was like a fucking riot. It was insane.
Now, even though that sounds dangerous, my theory is, what if we didn't have this place to blow off steam? Right. Would Philadelphia invade Baltimore at some point? You know what I mean?
This is gladiator stuff. They let them get their bloodlust out to come watch sport instead of, it's just a way to kind of move that energy in a different place. Get them worked up about this, not angry at politicians, angry about, oh, my gladiator lost me money.
Or, not angry about not having enough money.
Yeah.
For
how hungry we are.
Don't think about that.
Eric in Kansas.
Hey, Bennington.
Hey.
So, Sarah, to your question about the whole lip reading thing, it is so bad that this last year, Jim Harbaugh, the coach of Michigan, was suspended for 2 games, and one of his coaches fired and the team fined for the whole the call stealing and lip reading, and this happens every year, with both at college level and the professional level.
Yeah,
that's how bad it is.
They will cheat any way they can.
Yeah, cheat to win.
I think the Raiders one time, I forget who they're playing, this was years ago, they just went out the night before and just hosed the whole field down until nobody was going to be able to run. And I mean, they, still played the game.
Yeah,
people were showing up, paying money. But they've done all those kind of stuff. They've bugged locker rooms. They've
Spygate. The Patriots.
Yeah.
Even this week, 49ers got a bad practice field.
Mm-hmm.
There was also fire alarms going off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I feel like I remembered Deflategate more than Spygate, but I forgot.
There's just another gate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
so
just
many gates.
So many gates. Here's Chuck. Hey, Chuck, what's up?
So, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Is that girl never seen football before? So I guess she doesn't know about the riots in like Philly and stuff. And I wanted to ask you: is Taylor Swift's season finally over?
You mean will she be back next year? Oh, he just went.
I want to know what
Okay, I mean, yes, the season's over,
no more
so
football.
You won't be seeing her. She's back on the road. She's dropping a new album. That might annoy you.
You don't have to listen to it.
But as always, just like football is a copycat game, so is pop music. So I expect to see more people dating football players now.
Oh, sure. CJ Stroud.
Don't waste your time. Like that little, I forget, she was in the High School Musical or whatever. She's
Selena Gomez?
No, the other one.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, Vanessa Hudgens.
You excited you knew that one?
Yeah, it was good. She married the shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm the only one here who knows it. You know what I mean? I am the only one because it's not a big deal to be on the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a gigantic deal when you're a football player. So Vanessa Hudgens should have been with, I would have said somebody from the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
But that's a good point. There's going to be a lot of agents and managers like, we got to get her a football boyfriend real quick.
Now, also, Tony Romo, I thought he really was pulling back on the reins until the last couple of minutes, and then he went buck fucking wild.
He did.
stayed wild, just talked over everything.
There was a good portion of the game that I had said to my husband, like, I've actually been able to tune Romo out, and I'm not able to do that. He must be chill, because I can't. We weren't sitting there complaining about things he said, and then that all went out the window.
Yeah, with like 2 minutes left in the game. As I said, he was scribbling and rambling at the same time. He just starts writing all over the screen.
We could go right here. Yeah. They could go here, and then you're going to want to pass it. And I'm like, yes, anywhere that it's open, they're going to want to go ahead.
If they're able to take this, they could be back next year, be the first team to three-peat in history. No, I mean, nobody's ever done that. I mean, yeah, the Dolphins were perfect. 72, they went. And you're just like,
at one point,
be here now. Be here now.
At one point during that, he said, in order for you to get to 3 wins, you have to get to 2. And they just did that. And we're like, yeah, we know, dude.
Jesus
Calm down. It was like JoJo, the idiot circus boy.
It's really funny.
Got so hyper.
During the last play, he kept talking through when the play started, and Nance had to just talk over him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, when the game was over, you let it play out. What's happening on the field?
Yes.
You don't keep talking.
Right. You let the moment.
As there's a shot on Kyle Shanahan, who's just had his fucking balls ripped off.
Yeah.
Like fucking again in the Super Bowl. It's just Romo yapping.
He doesn't understand. He doesn't fucking get it.
And Nance made the call. Yeah. Chiefs win and just stopped talking because he knew.
Which everybody does. Everybody started doing that maybe 25 years ago and let it play out. I also said this. You know who I felt sorry for?
Who?
Eric Bieniemy. Because he was with that team all the time. Mm-hmm. He was the offensive fucking coordinator. Mm-hmm. He would never get a job.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So he jumped to Washington.
Yep.
In the same job. And I'm like, why would you do that?
It's really weird.
Why would you do that? And now he's out.
Yep.
And, he should have been there. I just felt bad for him.
He should have been the OC for this fucking team this year. Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, what's up?
Hey, Bennington's question. If Shohei Ohtani started dating like a pop star or movie star, would this be bigger than Taylor Swift?
Well, first of all, Shohei could be dating Jill Biden, and it wouldn't be as big as what we saw.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Nothing could be.
Shohei could walk through a mall in Indiana or Florida, and no one would know him.
Here's the thing, too. You also have the perfect end to the storyline of the season, is that we come up, he's a winner, she has her big Grammy win. It's just like, they're the...
But it would have also been good if they lost. And then how are they together?
Right.
Suffering, he would have been... His brother would have been dancing drunk
just
last
the same.
night.
Same.
He would have been singing. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't play for the name on the front. They play for the name on the back.
Oh, that's good, Ron.
Okay?
It's really deep, too.
Yeah.
Good.
That's where they fucking play.
So there is an Iron team, you're saying.
Those two. There's a two-in team. They're not even on the same team. No. And they think they are. Hard Rock Johnny. What's up, buddy?
Jenny.
Oh, my God. That end of the game, Romo had me wanting to just...
Thank you, Johnny.
It was like, he said, I've been saying this all game. They need to throw to him. Like, no, you hadn't said that one single time. We can go back and listen to the entire game. You didn't say that once.
It's true.
And I got to say, I love Jim Nance, but he dropped a few, 19's usually a winning hand in this town. Come on with the puns. And I get, the jackpot at the end, because that's Brent Musburger actually said that when he called he was saying that calling Raider games. But it was a little bit kind of much, just kind of
Johnny,
shoehorning that one in.
Let's be honest here. You used to be a big fan.
You loved him,
of
dude.
Romo.
First season, I thought Tony Romo was great, and as did most people. And then he just wouldn't shut up.
I wasn't one of those people.
Not me.
I hated him from Jump Street.
Ron, you were first.
Now, I hate all the Cowboys.
Chris, stop trying to get that.
But I hate Romo most.
He's a bum.
But he did. I mean, I really thought he tried his best to listen.
He did.
With whoever told him, but by the end of it, there was just you can't stop it. He's like a kid. Somebody gave him chocolate, I think.
He had too much sugar at halftime.
He's a red dye allergy, perhaps.
Yeah.
Something like that, because he was pretty calm and pretty normal the majority of the game, and then he turned into excitable boy.
It was
Well, he came down to dinner in his Sunday best. Excitable boy, they all say. That may be one of the greatest sexual assault murder songs of all time.
Yeah.
So upbeat.
So
you listen.
Dug up her grave and built a cage with her bones.
What the fuck?
It may be his best song.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's about Tony Romo, which is weird.
Yes, it is. Earl, what is the best song by Warren Zevon?
Carmelita.
That's a good one.
That is good, actually.
That's really fucking good.
I like that answer.
I played that song when his ex-wife or girlfriend was in. She had written a book about him. She started crying, and she said that was their song together.
Aww.
And I go, we're on the air. Please pull it together. You know? Earl, did you work last night?
Yes, I did. I worked last night.
Why will you work during the Super Bowl?
Every Super Bowl since he's been
Why
on
do
this
this to
show,
yourself?
he works. And you would think he has seniority at this point to say, hey, this year I'd like to enjoy a nice Super Bowl for myself.
Well, he's like one of those guys in AA that keeps returning to a white chip. So they've gotten 15 white chips over 5 years.
Yeah, it was pretty bananas last night. I mean, but...
What was bananas?
What was so...
Well, the turnout was like the biggest turnout we've had in a really long time.
Do you think that's because Johnny left and went to Margaritaville?
Oh, my God. You think he's holding them back this whole time?
All right, so you had a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was a lot of people there, but the weird thing happened like at halftime because the game, remember, it was like 10-3 at the half.
Yeah.
People left at halftime.
I remember.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider them football fans if they're going to the Hard Rock to see the game. Yeah.
But people were there specifically to see the game, came to the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not the hardcore fans.
They can't
They're
be,
at the corporate place in Times Square. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that if you were a hardcore fan.
No. Yeah, I mean, it was surprising. And then, like, towards the end of the game, like, I was at the main bar. And, I mean, it's super exciting. The game goes into overtime, and everyone just seemed a little bit wiped out. And there was like a fatigue that set in.
Well, look, if you had been drinking since 3, that would have been a disastrous Super Bowl for you.
No, not
really
more.
Boring. And then when the good stuff happens, you're already a good 8 hours into your drunk.
I actually feel like I did that, but with food. It's like I started too early with food.
Yeah.
I was very full.
Yeah,
Could not snack during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, you're right. We ate too big at 3 o'clock. We ate too big. Johnny, were you happy with the Chiefs, or did you want your 49ers?
No, I mean, you asked me a long time ago. I said Kansas City is it's just hard to bet against Mahomes, and there lies the big mistake of an unprepared team giving Patrick Mahomes the ball second in overtime in the Super Bowl. Don't do it. Kick. Let him have the ball first.
So you join in with the voices I heard on ESPN that said this game was lost by coaching.
Well, I mean, so the Kansas City Chiefs said they've been talking about this rule since training camp.
Yeah.
The 49er players said they never heard the rule. They've all said it like,
that was
said, I thought
also
that's what you
all
would
of my
do.
friends. No one had heard the rule, and they were texting me. One of my friends watched all night on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon? I didn't even know they were playing on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah, people
saw that
were
too.
you watching some of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They said that Dora the Explorer got off the big line of the night when she says, "Does anyone have a map to the end zone?"
That's
gold. But I
on the map.
I showed the kids that in the pregame thing from like 2 o'clock, whatever they were playing then, and the kids were very excited.
That makes sense.
This is good.
Yeah,
this is very good.
They did yell for Dora. They got excited when they saw Dora.
You guys need to see this. At 1 o'clock, they went back and started the first NFL pregame show. Right, they showed the whole thing. So that's Brett Musburger, it's Phyllis George, and that shit, just to see what the equipment they had looked like.
I gotta watch this.
The personalities, the whole thing played like Anchorman. I was
That's
fucking
hilarious.
cracking up. And I'm like, this is like an Anchorman thing, because it was in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And it was just backbiting, just backstabbing. Yeah. It's just people have a good job, and there's like, fuck that person over there.
I forgot Francesa got his start there with Jimmy. He was like Jimmy the Greek guy on set. I totally forgot about that. And then all of a sudden he's in there talking about the Greek. It was crazy good.
Well, Musburger wanted gambling back in 78. You know what I mean? He wanted them to give out thing. And the league was very weird about it. Yeah. So they would have all these ways of like, you know, we used to curse on terrestrial, you know, of like we would change one word into another word, and like, you know, they would try to do that through the whole thing. All right, let's go halftime show. Usher came out, and the funny thing is, it was considered a young show by some people, but he's 45 years old.
Yes, he is,
and he's a Vegas act. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it played like a Vegas act.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I certainly think that this was a millennial special. Like, it was definitely geared towards a very specific generation. And I think
early
people
2000s.
Older, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People a little older.
But not the good
enjoy
stuff, not the rock stuff.
Right.
From the early 2000s.
Right. So, you know, all the pop hits. And I thought it was a Super Bowl halftime show. You know, it was like very strange. I didn't find anything truly disappointing about it or embarrassing. It just was. And I think that we'll remember it as not a bad one.
I think we're not going to remember it.
Yes, that's probably more accurate.
Obviously, they put a ton of money into it. When he came skating out, that
was really
I'm
funny.
like, this is everything that I complain about music.
But you know what's funny is that will be one of the things we forget. And you should
No, I won't. I will not.
I won't forget his motocross outfit.
Hilarious.
Pretty cool.
And how he struggled to show his chest for no other reason, but that's where it showed up in the script.
Yeah. Now, something that I did realize, I came to the realization about halfway through, is that you know, I wasn't unhappy. I know all these songs. I was enjoying it. But I realized what I really wanted was a Lil Jon halftime show featuring Usher, not the other way around.
That would have been more fun.
I went, oh, wait, that's really who I want to spend time with.
I know a lot of people were mad that Bieber didn't come out since he was there.
Right.
And I guess he just doesn't perform anymore. Is that it, Sarah? Is he?
I don't know. I'm not a believer, but like I was expecting him to come out.
Yeah. I mean, it would have made sense.
It would have been a big pop.
All right, Alicia Keys. There was a point where Usher was just singing to her ass. He was walking behind her, staring at that ass and singing to it.
I love Alicia Keys, but the thing I am going to remember is just the world's weirdest piano. I just went, what is that?
It was a weird piano, and she got one verse in.
Yeah.
And move on, Alicia.
Yeah,
move on.
We're setting up the next thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to
Her voice cracked at the very beginning. Too.
Yeah,
I heard that.
It was a rough first note. Her come out and did a pretty forgettable riff while he was putting on his skates.
Yes.
And then when he tried to skate between, I don't know who that was, all dressed up. Later, people were saying it was Will.i.am.
Jermaine Dupri.
The guy was enormous.
Yeah.
But he tried to go through his legs, and there wasn't enough room.
It wasn't. He came very close to falling. It was almost an injury there, but he made it through barely. Barely. Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of Alicia Keys, but I guess that's what those things are. It's always like a peppering.
They're always pretty disappointing, you know what I mean? And when you do those things, it means you don't have enough to carry yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And also,
you need to surprise. Prince didn't suddenly start, you know?
No.
Hey, look who it is. It's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
So, like, here's the thing. So Lil Jon does Turn Down for What, or a piece of Turn Down for What. Then he's on And then they did a very quick nod where you hear the song for Get Low. And it was the biggest tease. I was like, we just want to hear Get Low now. Hey, I don't know how you're going to sing these lyrics. Figure it out. We'll just be happy.
He's doing a watered down Las Vegas family affair thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the fact is that, when people are like, when I was busted, like, there's certain people that get sensitive if you're doing jokes about their artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
True.
They're like, fuck you, man. Like, all right, I'm not the Grammys. Nothing I say matters. So
I'm just a man.
Yeah, so relax.
Standing in front of a boy.
The fact is, this guy who you consider like the next wave is 45.
Sure.
And he's living in Vegas and working in Vegas.
Yeah.
He's fucking Wayne Newton.
Right. And, this is somebody who just based their career on wanting to be Michael Jackson. And that's what that's what it is for him. He was like, I want to get the Super Bowl like Michael got the Super Bowl.
There was one funny moment where, the fake fans like just freaking out around the stage, and you saw them freaking out, but you could see the actual stands behind them, and no one was moving or seemed interested.
Oh, yeah. They sweeten. They sweeten that whole act.
Very funny.
But yeah, why would you? You're at a game. You know what I mean? You're not at a concert.
I would love to see
probably at a bad angle.
The moment, like the very beginning of the halftime show, there was some just fun acrobatics on the ground, and there was a man who seemed to fly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I went, where did he come from? It looked like someone just shot him out of a cannon across the field.
And by the way, you know what that is? Circus Soleil. That's fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
You're not edgy. You're not fucking cool. You're Vegas.
I was like, where... Was he on a ladder? How did he get that high? Why is he coming in at this speed? I was very confused. And then we never saw him again.
Now, the thing about Usher is the same with Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
They're still doing MJ.
Yes.
They're still doing MJ.
That's all they got. That's They don't want to improvise anything for themselves.
He set the precedent with that for pop. And I just feel like we've never really gotten far from it, We've never really gotten away from.
Look at this. This dance style is Broadway. You know what I mean? This is what Fosse brought. Has nothing to do with R&B, soul, rock, funk. None of that.
Yeah. Whoa, where'd he come from? How'd he get that high? Shot out of a cannon. Terrifying.
He was shot out of Nick Cannon.
I feel like the other thing that's difficult now, and I'll blame TikTok for this, is that we just see too many good dancers now that you're just like, if you just see like okay background dancers, you're like, yeah, but I just saw some kid do something insane like on my phone 5 minutes ago.
Do you think that he just got this amount of dancers for this? Like he just met these guys? Like, hey,
right,
come on in.
Yeah. What was with the theme of like all the dancers were in very different moments? Just like a lady in stilts back there. I don't know. We needed to probably work on it.
He's a man out of time.
Like I said, I still think the songs are fun enough. It just was probably pretty.
The songs are background though.
Yeah.
The songs are background to these visuals, and that's the thing.
We all liked, I mean, that was great.
Yeah, it was fun. But everything
I don't
else
think
up until
lasted that long.
It didn't.
It
was
really
a truncated version.
It kind of also falls off after you get, out of the great opening. Yeah.
I mean, the opening's great. Can't deny that.
The theme was actually a
Nikki Haley. Oh, Chris, you wanted to announce the bonsai winner.
Oh,
the winner
yes.
of the Tommy Cutlets signed football and the bonsai contest is at Billy Cisness on Twitter, the first to tweet #bonsai after the first interception of the game.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
Also, no rock guy should have that around their mouth. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that wasn't like a typical like head mic.
I forgot.
And it was bouncing around a lot. I think that wasn't a good fucking.
You saying he was lip syncing?
He definitely was lip syncing.
Yeah. Well, they always are. But then, I also forgot Caught Up. Caught Up, he opened the thing with Caught Up, and I was like, that was a good song. I totally forgot. When I was like,
I can't remember it, Gail.
Caught Up. Caught Up.
I didn't remember it.
Oh,
all I know is
lyrics have me crying. I think if you're okay with lip syncing, you might as well just play the music and have the guy sit there smoking a cigar.
That's
I think
cool.
would be cooler.
On a slow zoom.
What about if we're okay with lip syncing, let's do the people who do it best. Let's have drag performers come out and perform, and they'll be just like doing death drops and going crazy.
That'd be great.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know what that means.
Drag performing, they lip sync is like something that they do during.
What's a
drag
death drop?
That's when you fall backwards flat on your back.
Oh
It's
my
like
God,
a very
no.
like.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that is a weird piano. Looks like it's
I don't get it.
that's made out of plastic. It's got water, all because it's not plugged into anything. It doesn't matter. No, she's not lip syncing. That she fucked that thing up. But let's watch her walk out with that ass. It was just so impressive.
Here comes her ass.
All right, Chris.
Never seen it coming 'cause you're blinded from the start.
Now look where he's looking. Oh, now
And
he's
he says
acting
her
like-
ass is hot.
Yeah. Now the thing that she is a legitimate pop star.
Yes.
And a writer, and the fact that she's just being treated like she's some girl with a hot ass.
That's true.
You know what I mean? This is something I expect out of the Kelce brothers.
Usher just fucking scream yelled at her ass.
Yeah.
You can't control himself.
He's very excited by it.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
she
so
should
beautiful.
be pointing at his dick.
So beautiful and no makeup always. That's her thing.
That's impressive.
There's what everyone thought was CeeLo.
Yeah.
And I was going,
Everyone was
good,
going-
crazy. Well, you're crazy.
Hell yeah.
Everyone was like, CeeLo?
Who is he?
I can't remember.
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. Everyone had to explain it later on Twitter because literally CeeLo was trending because people were just writing, "Is that CeeLo?"
Is he gonna do fucked up?
I remember when. I remember off my mind. I would have loved it.
That would've
but
been
he's
fun.
got the essays against him, right?
Yes,
Yes.
he's got some
Come
big
on.
old essays.
Come on, let's forgive and forget.
He's an artist.
Just like we do with our football players.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
He's so sweaty this whole time.
Yeah,
He's working
stayed
hard,
really sweaty. And when he pops his little top off, Juju was watching and she just screamed, "He's taking off his clothes!" She was just like so shocked. She would be like, "He's in front of all these people. He's getting naked." That is a nice little blouse he's got. Bejeweled with some brooches on the side. I didn't
I
pay
know.
attention to that yesterday.
He's also
but it's like kind of
yeah.
like a nice granny blouse.
It's kind of dressed like Teddy Pendergrass.
It's like Teddy Pendergrass meets Mother of the Bride. It's very nice.
I thought it looked like Frodo's vest from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, it's
Remember
made,
him?
made of
Chris,
mithril.
you get the reference.
I do. That was the ring, Ron. Not his elven armor.
I want to see Will I Am come out.
I think this is the her part. This is about where he's about to start.
Get ready to skate. All right, what are we doing now? I'll take Johnny. Johnny, go.
Hey, Johnny.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I wanted, first off, Johnny Hard Rock got me into this gambling ring buying Super Bowl boxes, and I am down and out, so I blame him.
All right, so
That's
you
it.
are finally into the boxes thing from the 1980s.
You're
He's
hooked.
he's a bad influence. It's a gateway.
Wait
It's a
till you
gateway.
find out about player
Hey,
props.
you guys were talking about lip syncing. I don't know if you saw the video of the Mamas and the Papas. I don't know if they were on Ed Sullivan, and the one girl was so mad that they had to lip sync and they wouldn't allow them to sing live. She ate a banana during the performance. You guys see that?
Yes, I have
No,
seen it.
I have seen other people fuck up lip
Yeah.
syncing on purpose. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. All right, here's the skaters.
Hey,
And there goes her.
Bye, her. Thanks for the solo. And here he goes eating.
This is so ridiculous.
It's fucking...
All right, so that's Will.i.am.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
He's much thicker. There's Usher skating.
In glittery motocross gear.
Yeah.
I don't know. That didn't look like he was lip syncing there. I just heard his breath and as he moved.
Maybe he's not.
I don't think
There was
he
definitely
is.
one point where maybe it was the backing track. I don't know.
Yeah. Just now I could see that he kind of like his breath affected that line.
Right. I had no fucking clue that was Will.
Watch. See, that was terrible.
Not
That was awful.
He clipped his ball.
Yeah, he did. There's the page,
Yes.
happy people.
See? Now this is what we wanted.
They're so good at being happy.
Turned out for what? I mean, this is a party.
A paid party.
Yeah, paid party.
Oh, I meant for me.